And we are back.
Oh, baby.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Gravity.
What'd you think, buddy?
Good movie.
Right?
Yeah. Edge in my seat the entire time. She just keeps getting fucked up.
She does.
Oh my God. She keeps getting
a break.
Yeah, she doesn't get a break. It never stops happening for her. But amazing.
Right?
Amazing. I mean, the whole time I couldn't. You just like you know, normally like stuff like good directing and shit, you don't really think about.
Yeah.
If the movie's good, right? Because you're into the movie. But I was in the movie and during the movie out loud, I said this at least once out loud to myself, just like, this fucking director, dude. Like, it's genuinely, the directing is so good that you notice it.
Everything, every movement in the movie is beautifully done.
There's one part when, after she lets, I think it's around when she lets Clooney go, when they hit the space station and she's in the corner and she's tumbling in the corner and the whole thing is rotating around her.
Uh-huh.
It's one of my favorite shots.
That intensing noise that's going on.
Intensing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like just kind of going, like a ringing in your ears the whole
Present.
time. Oh my God. And then every time they would do that vacuum of sound noise, they like it. God damn, bro.
Yeah, the sound was unbelievable.
Yeah. The no sound?
Yeah. They nailed it. They nailed every, and the closer you got to hearing her, then the sound would come back in.
Yeah.
Like they just really nailed some stuff in terms of like
when she first gets detached in the beginning and she's spinning in space and the camera's from the helmet and you're getting dizzy with her.
all the shots from her angle are unbelievable.
Unreal. From her helmet? Oh,
yeah, when she's being pulled.
Oh, and she get yanked. Fuck.
Yeah, those shots were great.
Great.
Yeah, this is so good that like I mentioned those shots specifically.
Yeah.
Like oh my God, yeah, that's.
How did he do that? It's all green screen. How the fuck did he do that, man?
Yeah, he made it look good. He made it look really good. He made you feel disoriented. There's this is what the director reminded me of. You've never read Ender's Game, have you?
No.
Okay, I read it a long time ago, so like I could be wrong about this, and correct me if I am, people listening. But there's this great scene when Ender first goes into space with all the other cadets, right? And he sees the guy. His commander is standing upside down, right, talking to them in zero gravity.
Yeah.
And Ender starts laughing, and the commander goes, "See, Ender's the only one who gets it." He's laughing because he realizes in space there's no up. The only up is the direction above you. You feel what I'm saying? So like on Earth, up is this way, where we're looking right now, you know? Yeah. Up is above us. But on space, if we're upside down, up is still above us.
That's psycho.
But do you feel what I'm saying? Like that's what, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting and really cool.
Yeah.
And this movie made me kind of feel that.
Yeah.
Because they're upside down for a lot of shots.
A lot of shots are upside down.
But it's normal. They're acting normal. And I was like, oh.
They're in space.
Because they're still, in their mind, their up is still above them, even though they're upside down. There's no upside down.
There is no upside down in space.
There's no upside down. And that's, I think, the biggest like credit to his directing was that I got the feeling that there was no upside down.
Because also he would leave I like how sometimes the camera would make it look like they're upside down. And then they would stay that way. And then the camera would tilt. It's like as if the camera was wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. And that's I remember reading that as a kid. I wonder if I'll ever get to feel that feeling. And as far as my life so far, unless I get shot up into space sometime soon, this movie was the closest I felt like, oh, that's what he meant by that.
Yeah.
There's no up.
Anything, what did I miss? What did I hit?
I thought this was funny. Well, you mentioned it by saying, in space it's negative 25 degrees Celsius, 158 Fahrenheit. That's how you started it, and we kind of shit on the movie for being like,
yeah, it was 258 degrees Celsius, 148 degrees.
That's what you said, and we kind of shit on the movie for doing that. They don't do that. It's negative 258 Fahrenheit till 138 Fahrenheit or whatever the fuck. They keep it in Fahrenheit.
Oh, it was Fahrenheit?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're talking about the words in the beginning, right?
Yes, the words in the beginning. They don't mention Celsius at all.
You sure?
Yes, absolutely. I noticed it.
Okay.
Because we shit on the movie, so I was like, I can't wait to see it. And I saw it, I was like, oh, no, the movie was right.
You sure?
Absolutely sure. Absolutely 100% sure.
I don't agree.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not wrong. 100% not wrong. The saying my eyes are brown.
Yeah.
That's a callback to early in the movie. She says that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I don't. You might not have mentioned it, or I didn't catch
mention
it.
but
yeah.
I caught it, but I didn't mention it.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
forgot. But right when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, it does say it. She says it early in the movie.
Yeah, it is a callback. It's a cool little like.
It's real subtle, real quick.
Yeah, it was very smooth, George Clooney type. He was just real smooth throughout the movie. He
the
was so
calmness
calm.
in his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Sip. It's fucking wine, not beer.
Yeah.
The coldest thing you can say to somebody as they're
Yeah. He dies so early in the movie.
Bro, quick as fuck, nigga, and you're attached to him.
Yeah.
That's what's scary about like that. Like, oh man, good acting, bro. You'll connect with a character in like 5 seconds if it's good.
Right. Yeah. Yes. But and the way they marketed the movie, you wouldn't expect him to die that quickly.
Well, they marketed it like it's gonna be them two.
It's gonna be them two. It was just her.
Fucking Sandra, bro.
It was
Killing
her.
It.
Yeah. When did The Martian come out?
After
It's 2015, 2016?
March 2015, 2016.
Okay. Because Hollywood does do that. Movies that are similar, they package them kind of together.
Oh yeah, man. Guy surviving. I like The Martian though because it was about science more than it was survival.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah, this one was pure.
This one was
survival.
fucking Dunkirk. Like move.
Yeah.
Move. That's
Yeah.
The Martian is like, all right, what objects do I have? Like, you know what I mean?
How do I make this a long-term survival thing?
I like both are cool.
Yeah, but this one was just pure.
Pure. Is she gonna survive? Find out in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah. Oh my God,
bro. Every time I watched it, and she opens the door and it flings her open. Like, bro, she's supposed to let go. Every time I watch it, because she doesn't know if the door's gonna fling her open like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, what is she, the Shaquille O'Neal grip, nigga? What the fuck?
I think when you're trying to survive, you probably have Shaquille O'Neal strength.
True. But
Yeah.
bro, the way that door slung open and how she was not ready for it, logistically, I don't see how it flings open so hard, because it's also how hard it flings open. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, right? The first one where it like, and she,
Yeah.
and also the one, you remember, she can't breathe.
Yeah.
So where is this strength? You talking about where is that coming from, dude?
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't logistically, it doesn't make sense. But she's also.
Yeah, I mean, but also if you want to go logistics, there's no way she enters a Chinese spacecraft while it's re-entering the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like the movie magic. Yeah, sometimes movie magic's got to be movie magic.
Yeah.
So to me,
every time I watch it, I'm like, oh man, there's no way. There's no way a human hand works that way. It just doesn't. Yeah, that shit was fucking fire though.
Yeah. Oh my God. Also, if you want to think logistically, Russia's not dumb enough to do something that would take out all the satellites. If they were taking out their own satellite, they would at least calculate some shit to be like, we gotta get this out of the atmosphere.
I don't should put shit past America, nigga. I'll put shit past nobody.
Yeah,
I don't put shit past anybody doing some dumb shit.
That's fair.
Anyone.
That's fair. They took out
That's
all.
it was pretty much an oil spill in space. I don't put it past anyone.
Wow, that's a good way to put it. It is like an oil spill in space.
You just people fuck up, bro.
You fucked up.
And they fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. And then seeing what's his name's head all fucked up.
A hole in it. It literally looked like somebody's
Yeah.
pushed it up. It's fucking
Yeah. Oh God.
intense.
It was very intense. Seeing the dead bodies for the first time when and it's her just blue face.
That shit was fucked up.
Yeah. Oh man. One of my favorite. I mean, it's just in terms of character arc.
Yeah.
This movie was great. Like the symbolism was very deep of her letting go of her, her life.
Daughter. And
internally, she feels like what's happening externally, and she's trying to find some kind of, her way back home, like metaphorically and reality-wise, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought it was great when the first time she said, "Let's go home" without his help. It's the first time, like, oh wow, you're finally empowered.
Yeah.
It was the first time she felt empowered instead of like frantically trying to survive and needing all this help. That was the first time, like, oh, you got this. I know you think you're good now. Finally.
And you're also okay with dying now. You've accepted that.
Yes, but in that acceptance, you found the strength to actually live.
To live.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there was
because in the beginning it was just pure survival. It was just like manic living.
And she couldn't even know it. And she wasn't surviving without his help.
Dude, he did all those things.
He did all the things. You know what I mean? Like she needed all that.
All the information, all the calmness when she was running out of breath. And he's floating to the end of his life and he's still calmly keeping her alive.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just so cold about like, oh, I'm gonna die. It's okay.
Then
I think my spacewalk is. I think the spacewalk is gonna be longer than Anton's.
And yeah, you're gonna hold a long time.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever drifted off into space like that. I have to
Ever?
look it up. I have to look it up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I think all the astronauts that die sort of die in re-entry, or like Challenger on the way up.
Yeah.
Challenger, and then
But has anyone died
first-
in space?
I don't think so.
That would be a good thing to look up. Now I'm actually curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say no.
But maybe.
Yeah. But what are the best scene to me? I think just this thought. I thought was interesting that I had at the end when she's like clutching onto the ground.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, we take the ground for granted.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
To me, that shot felt just like when she breathes for the first time.
Yeah.
You feel like you can breathe.
Yeah.
She grabs the ground. You feel like, you almost feel like, oh my God, I should grab, like,
Yeah,
I should grab the ground.
I should be happy I'm standing and not like just floating endlessly.
Endlessly through time.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
God.
space is just fucking time.
Yeah, space is just time. And you're just, yeah. I'm glad she survives.
Yeah, good movie.
Good movie. That's Gravity, everybody.
That's Gravity.
Gravity.
Gabe, keep that.
Yeah, dude, definitely keep that.
All right, beaters.
Hey.
We like to have fun in our house.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's our house.
Guys, you are in our fucking house. The start of season 3.
What are we doing?
What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing in life?
I mean,
Oh, you meant the movie?
the movie.
Okay, we can
I
start
mean-
there. I thought we were going to get into deep discussions about Trump and Hillary. But
Okay.
I guess we'll do our podcast. Asana,
Yes.
let's start the season with a fucking bang, man. Tell me what happens in the film The 5 Heartbeats.
What the fuck?
Right? Let's start this fucking season today.
I've never
course you
even
have.
heard about
Want to
it.
know why?
Why?
Yeah, I know I don't usually give any. I don't say anything. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything. No, I'm not gonna say anything. You. I was gonna tell you why you don't know about it, but I'll let you figure out why you don't know about it. Assan, tell me
Why wouldn't I know about it? Okay, it's not a blockbuster.
you don't know. You know what it is.
5 Heartbeats. Okay. Is it a black movie?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, motherfucker. All right. Okay. What is this about? There's 5 heartbeats, and it's about
Sam's guess was good.
fucking band. There's 5 of them, and they're like heartbeats. So they're like a soul band. They're like the Temptations. That's what this is about. Something like that. That's what I'm going for. 5 Heartbeats. This is about like a Motown type band, right? And this is gonna be NWA. They are young and on the rise, but they have to navigate the world of shady Motown producers. Yeah. They had a really good album, but they got fucked by a producer. They didn't get paid money for it.
Son of a bitch.
And they sort of killed it. So, like, they should have been big. In their minds, they should have been big. So they have a chip on their shoulder. You know, a lot of turmoil in between the band because of that.
Are you describing Straight Outta Compton?
Yes, that's what I said.
I'm sorry. Okay, keep going. It hit me.
Yeah, I said this is gonna be NWA.
I'm just like, oh, he's just describing Straight Outta Compton. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. You know. But it's not, you know, there's
no AIDS.
there's like factions. There's like 3 versus 2 of some kind, you know. It's such a dumb movie.
Had a climax and ending.
Climax and
I
ending?
can tell you're getting lost in
Yeah, I'm
your story.
getting lost in this. Like, what do I want the story to happen?
Climax and ending. Let's go.
Okay, so the climax is the band decides to stay together.
Oh, interesting climax.
Yeah.
Never seen that happen
Oh,
on
no,
the climax.
Oh, no, the climax. That's the ending. The ending is together. The climax is, you know what? They end up recording the album, but the inner turmoil, 2 of the members leave during some of it.
Ooh, 2 members.
2 members leave.
like that.
They leave. They record, and they don't have the same sound. Turns out they're still getting fucked by another producer, and they're like, okay, well, at least we got the band, and they get back together at the end.
And it ends with them getting back together.
Yes.
And that is Ehsan Ahmad's.
5 Heartbeats.
Well, I will say now,
What?
of course, you were right about everything.
Right.
And I will say
Mhm.
that you didn't know about this movie because is a very famous black movie. Black people, I know you're excited. All our black listeners.
What's the genre we looking at here?
The movie starts with slow, cheesy piano chords.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Kind of like upbeat, like almost like a Family Matters kind of, like, oh, this is a sitcom starting? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that kind of vibe.
Right.
You hear a radio, like a radio DJ kind of talking in the background, right?
Mhm.
And the radio DJ is like, all right, now we're going to start playing the new hot hits. And the 5 heartbeats come across, the title comes across the screen.
Okay. So it is about a band.
We see our lead for the first time.
Okay.
Robert Townsend. Do you know Robert Townsend?
Why does that name sound familiar?
He, one of the great directed Raw, Eddie Murphy, stand-up special, directed a lot of great stand-up specials and a lot of great movies.
Like what's another movie that he did?
I mean,
that I might
movies
know.
with Eddie Murphy.
So he's a comedy guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, comedy legend. Like one of those old school legends.
Okay.
Like Keenan Ivory Wayans. A guy behind the scenes and in front of the camera.
Okay.
One of those. Rare combination.
Okay.
Wrote a lot of stuff that we know. All right.
Okay. So this is a comedy. Maybe.
So.
God damn it.
We see our lead, all right? He's an older man, older black man.
Right.
He's really done well for himself. He gets mail, okay? He goes out by the ocean to read it. He's just sitting down on like a chair by the beach. He's reading his mail. And he's flipping through it, and he sees a Rolling Stone magazine.
Okay.
And on the cover, it says, "Where are they now?" And he sees a picture of his old band.
No. Oh, fuck. This is amazing. Oh, God. Oh,
you're going to like this.
Oh, sorry. This is going to be funny. Can you tell me if it's going to be a comedy now?
I'm not telling you shit.
God, motherfucker. I don't want this to be real. Because then if it's real, it's like, oh, fuck, this is the wrestler.
No, you have no idea what's going on.
This is just the black wrestler. I don't want that.
You don't know if this is a good movie, or like a bad movie that
that just people love.
Idea.
Yeah,
I will say this.
What?
Sam cried at the end. Okay.
That doesn't mean anything.
I know. You have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
It's like, does that mean it's hardball? What does that mean?
Yeah.
So we flash back. He
Yes.
sees where are they now? Rolling Stone. He sees himself younger with his group. He looks into the ocean.
Would I recognize the old guy?
Robert Townsend?
Oh, it's Robert Townsend.
Robert Townsend.
Oh, okay.
He's old man. He's dressed in old man prosthetics.
Okay.
He looks off to the ocean like, and flashback, June 7, 1965.
Ooh.
Okay? Give you a time frame.
Okay.
We're at a talent show. We see a girl group singing. They look like a Supremes. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I love you. Like those kind of girl groups, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they're singing a song about like, oh, I love Joey. Ooh, oh, Joey. Like they're singing one of those songs.
Right.
And then the credits are still rolling while this is going on. The girl group ends, Pops, John Witherspoon from Friday, Pops.
Okay.
Yeah. He comes out. He's the talent show host.
Okay.
And he's also the voice. He does 2 things in this movie. Which I
Okay.
love. He's the talent show host and he's the voice of the radio. Remember the radio guy earlier?
Okay, yeah.
He's that voice.
Okay, so he comes back and plays
later.
every time. Yeah.
So he comes out and he goes, he comes out and he, that was, blah, 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 whatever their name was.
Mhm.
And then the main girl, who's really cute of that group, she comes off stage, she runs off stage, she goes right to somebody and she goes, "Where's Eddie? Where's Eddie?" And then they're like, "Oh, Eddie's not here," She's like, "Oh," you know what I mean? So right then, the guy, the Pops, he goes, "All right, now for contestant number 9, Flash and the Ebony Sparks," right? And another group comes out and they're singing like a high-pitched, like 60s style boy group song.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just this era of music.
Right, I know what you're saying.
And the lead singer's killing it. All right, this is the Flash guy, right? He's fucking murdering this talent show.
Okay.
People are going crazy. The singing in this movie is phenomenal, by the way. Like phenomenal singing. Okay?
That's dope. That's nice. So this is is this a kind of musical? I'm not gonna ask. I keep on asking. What the fuck am I doing?
So they show the heartbeats in the locker room. It's quiet in the locker room. They're nervous. You can tell they're nervous. One guy is like, he just keeps fidgeting and walking back and forth, right?
Would I recognize any of the heartbeats besides Townsend? Who? Okay.
Yes, you will.
Okay. Oh.
One of them has been on the Beans before, my friend. A lead on the Beans.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You know some people in this movie.
Okay. Ooh.
So
it's like Clint Eastwood. That'd be so
great. How fucking awesome would it be if I said Clint Eastwood
that'd be so
was
fun.
one of the 5 heartbeats.
That'd be amazing.
Also, now you really don't know if this is a drama or you don't know what this is.
I don't know what's
Is
happening.
it a Western?
Yeah.
So the one guy goes, "Choir boy, sit down and relax." This is a light skinned guy in the group says this to the guy who's nervous, right? And Sit down and relax. And then the one guy says, who's going to sing lead? This is the choir boy guy. He's like, who's going to sing lead? Bobby's in here. He hasn't called. He missed all his rehearsals. Eddie isn't here. Where's Eddie? Nobody's seen Eddie, you know? And then the guy, the light-skinned guy who told him to calm down was like, man, you're just nervous because last time we were here, you got hit in the head with a bottle. And then the guy goes, well, they could have just booed. They didn't have to hit me in the head with a goddamn bottle.
He's not wrong.
Not wrong. It's a funny line. It
He's not wrong. Yeah.
Knowing it was coming. They could have just booed, which is true. Like, just boo me.
Yeah. This is just the Apollo, but violent.
So he's the nervous guy. You can tell, like, he's the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nervous. He's choir boy. He's the good guy, the nervous guy, you know? Next shot, we see some gangsta-ass niggas at a poker table. All right? It's a different room now.
Okay.
And you see a guy, like, grab the money on the table and squeeze it, like his knuckles. And then a guy grabs his like wrist and goes, calm down, Eddie. You know, like, Eddie, calm down. And then Eddie, like the scene is like real tense, like the music shifts to real tense music. Mm-hmm. And then you hear a guy like by the door, like they're playing poker, right? And they're all looking at each other like, you know, it's like you can tell that, oh, these are gangsters, like gangster shit.
This is real.
And so a guy locks the door and Eddie notices, you know? And then the dude goes, I think you motherfuckers is cheating. And he goes to grab his gun. Eddie, and then the guy that he's with, they get up and they flip the table. And then Eddie turns and he fucking jumps out the window. Starts running. Like straight out, like just like kind of like straight out of Compton, just out of nowhere. Intense scene.
Where
like,
what the fuck? Tank comes through.
Yeah, just like out of nowhere, this intense scene. He jumps out the window and now he's running. Like, right? Whoa, that came out of nowhere. So, they cut back to the Flash guy at the concert, right? The guy, the Flash, he's killing it. He's still killing it, ripping it up. He's singing to this girl, right? He's singing to this girl. And then they show another lead of this movie, Deric from Cool Runnings. He's one of the 5 Heartbeats.
Really? Mm-hmm. Good for you, Deric.
I know him as David Ruffin. That's why every time I see him, you're not Deric, you're David Ruffin. And I know to black people, he's also David Ruffin because that's a person he's in another famous black movie that we'll also get to later.
Well, he's the same guy?
Huh?
So there's a sequel to this movie?
No. His name in this movie is not David Ruffin.
Oh,
I know him as David Ruffin because that's the name he's in this other famous movie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wow. So Deric is all up in there.
Deric has been in some classics. Okay. Like classic black people films.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then Cool Runnings, which is just a classic, you know?
Some BPFs. Cool.
Yeah. It's a classic black people film too.
Cool Runnings?
Yeah. That's just a classic. I don't know. That's up there. It's a good movie. Watch it. So
episode 6, I believe, or 4.
One of those. You're right.
Yeah.
But so right then you hear a guy back to Eddie, and he's running down the street with his boy, right? And then you hear, Eddie, I'm gonna kill you, right? And he's running, and his friend gets shot in the leg as they're running.
Okay.
Like, and now he's trying to help his friend, right? Back to the concert, right? And it's back to that David Ruffin guy I was talking about.
Yeah.
Deric. He's making out with some girl. Right, he's making out with some other girl. And then she's like, stop. What are you trying to fuck me in this broom closet like I'm some whore? And then he says, no, baby, I'm just trying to take you to that next level. And then he says some other smooth shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then she starts unbuttoning his pants.
Ooh, good for you. Deric.
Hey, Deric, man.
Deric.
So Eddie and the other guy are still running to get chased. And then the friend gets shot in the other leg. He's like, fuck! Yeah. That one was clearly for comedy. I don't know how you think that to be funny.
Yeah.
So they cut back to our lead, and we see our lead, and it's the Robert Townsend guy.
Okay.
His name's Duck.
Okay.
All right. So it's Duck. He's singing. He's like singing to himself, and he's working on the lyrics to the song, and he's like trying to get the melody right. Right. Mm-hmm. And then the light-skinned guy from the group goes to Duck, and he goes, hey, Duck.
Do I know the light-skinned guy?
No, you wouldn't recognize. You might recognize him because he's been in a lot of shit.
Okay.
But I don't know his name.
So you've mentioned all the recognizable people in the 5 Heartbeats.
So far, yeah.
So far, okay. So I don't know who.
Those are all, I named all 5. Those are all 5. Yeah.
I don't know who Eddie is.
No, you won't recognize that.
Okay.
So he's like, you're gonna have to see in league, Duck. And he's like, Eddie, Bobby, they aren't here. And then Duck's pissed. He's like, I wrote a 5-part harmony. We need 5 parts. You know what I mean? He's clearly the music one. Right, the musically inclined one. And then he's like, the other dude's like, oh, well. It's like, we're about to go on, so get your brother. Mm-hmm. And he's like, damn it. And so he starts knocking on upstairs for his brother who was making out with the girl. The Deric guy and Duck are brothers.
Okay.
So he's knocking on him, and then, of course, to get his attention. Right. And he's now fucking that girl.
Yeah, Deric. Yeah.
So manager guy walks in. Wait, no. They announce, right then they announce, like, all right, coming to the stage, the 5 Heartbeats, right? And they walk on stage, and they're all sitting there, and they're just looking confused, and they're like, all right, 1, 2, and then right then, Eddie, he's still sprinting. You see him from the side. He sprints all the way in, grabs the microphone, and as he's sliding down, goes, oh, crowd, oh! And you're like, oh, this guy, the Eddie dude's a badass.
Yeah.
So he
Great singer.
Yeah, this is from running from that poker game.
Right.
Runs straight in. Oh, the voice is phenomenal. Oh, like killing it, right?
Yeah.
Crowd's like, oh, and then of course the rest of the group is like, fuck yeah. And they start playing, you know what I mean? And so Duck he's so happy, and then he starts killing on the piano, like, dun, 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 dun. What are you about to say?
Oh, so this is like so I was gonna say, is this like a band, or is it like I said, like the Temptations? I think
Like
it was 4 dudes type thing. Okay.
It's Temptations. It's a group.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So he's singing, and then he tells the other guy right there, he's like, because they're singing, like he go, oh, I ain't got no money, no, ain't got no time. Like it's kind of like one of them songs. Like,
Right.
they're moving fast.
What happened to his friend?
I don't know. I mean, he got shot in the leg, but I don't know, bro. I'm gonna assume nothing good.
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like positive things are about to happen to
For
him.
him. Yeah.
Your day isn't looking up after you're shot in the leg twice.
Yeah, so the song's like, I got nothing but love for you, baby. And they're all singing this, like the hook now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Duck, he's telling everybody what to do. And he's like, Dresser. That's the light-skinned guy that was telling everybody,
Right.
on everybody earlier.
Right.
His name's Dresser.
Okay.
He's like, Dresser, hit him with the bass. And he's like, ain't got nothing but love for you, baby. Crowd goes crazy,
Yeah.
And then he's like, he's grooving, and then he tells like JT, that's the brother's name, and then he's like, hit him with the notes, and then he starts killing it, and then he's like, choir boy, he's like, take him to church, choir boy, and the choir boy is the Sopranos. He's like, and they're just ripping this talent show. Now everyone's losing their fucking minds,
Right.
Because they're killing it. You know what I mean? And then the Duck guy, he hits it with a solo on the piano, and then he starts singing, and his voice is fucking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so they're just going crazy, and then
I don't think you'll hear the sirens.
And then the music and the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah.
And then they show 2 guys in the crowd going, those are cousins. Those are cousins. Like just going crazy, right?
Yeah.
So right then, they show a manager guy like watching from the corner, like liking him. They all that guy like that.
Yeah, he's not really enjoying it, but he's like,
I
I gotta make money off
I
these
make
people.
one of these guys, yeah. And then right then the announcer comes out and he goes, and your winner, Flash and the Ebony Sparks. And then of course it shows them like end the scene.
Ooh.
So they lose.
Ooh. You've seen it. Who had the better performance?
Oh, they did.
Oh.
The guy who ran out of nowhere, that guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
No question.
That's fair.
But the one dude is good, the Flash guy.
Okay.
He is good.
He's that good.
He is that good.
Okay.
And he comes back to play.
Oh, this is a rivalry.
Yes, but we'll see what happens.
Why do I say things? This podcast should just be you, just describing the movie, and I'll just be like, yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess.
Well, because it's like I gotta give you stuff, but I can't give you too much, or else because you know how movies do go too well.
Yeah.
So I gotta keep you on this like.
Yeah, I still don't know whether or not this is a comedy. All right, keep going.
So Duck is now talking to a really hot girl, okay?
Ooh.
And he is telling her how shy his brother is. And then the camera pans over to JT, Deric, and he's over there. He's looking all loser. He's like pretending to be like an extra loser.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he's telling her like, oh, he's just, he's a really shy guy, but he thinks you're beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And then the girl's like, okay, give him my number. And it works, right?
Right. Oh, that's a good.
Yeah. And then so he goes back and then they dap up and he's like, shy boy works every time, right? Like it's their thing, okay?
Right.
So the manager guy comes up to them at the table now and he asks like, hey man, I thought you guys were great, blah, blah, blah. I was wondering if you guys could use a manager. I think you guys have what it takes to go all the way to the top. He's like, and with me, you don't have to sign anything.
Ooh.
Just a handshake.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
That's a good deal.
Yeah, and he says, and this is what I can offer. He said, come back to do the same talent show in a month. I guarantee you win it. And if you don't win, I'll give you $100 myself. And it's in 1960s. So that's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll give you $100 myself. And then, of course, the band's like, we like those odds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's a win-win.
Yeah, and he's like, all right. He said, if you guys really want to be at the next level, you'll be at my house tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And they're like, all right, cool. So the next day they're all there, and then Dresser, he's apologizing for Eddie being late. He's like, hey, Eddie's not here yet, blah, blah, blah. And then Eddie shows up and he's like, I don't apologize for him. He's like, he's gonna have to learn.
Right.
He kind of says something like that, right? He's like, oh, yes, sir. So right then, Jimmy's wife comes in, the manager guy. His name's Jimmy. His wife comes in.
Black dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
And his wife's like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, Eleanor, got this new group. And then she's like, why are you doing this to yourself again? Right? Like dead serious. The mood shifts immediately. And he's like, Eleanor, trust me. I know what I'm doing on this time. I know what I'm doing, okay? So right then, cuts back to a scene of Duck, right? And Duck is leaving a note in a door, right? He leaves a note in the door. And right as he leaves the note in the door, like the door starts to open up. So he takes off running around the house. And then you see a girl kind of looking at it, and then she opens the door and looks around. Nobody's there. And like, oh, it's a pretty girl. Like, you know what I mean? He was leaving a note for a pretty girl.
Yes,
right?
it's a girl he likes.
And the girl walks outside and then gets into another guy's car, like a really fancy car.
Ooh.
And then he has to watch that, like all kind of sad. You know what I mean?
Oof, that's rough. That's rough. That's always rough.
So that's always, no matter what. That's
no
always
matter
rough.
what.
Yeah.
No matter what, that's always rough.
So the next thing, the wife is talking to the manager and she's like, why are you doing this again? Mm-hmm. She's like, she names like 4 big bands. And she's like, all 4 of them. She said, they used you. And right when they blew up, they left you. It happens every time, and you're heartbroken. Why do you keep doing this to yourself? And he's like, baby, I saw these guys. They got it. Just believe in me one last time.
Oh, so he's like a kingmaker.
Yeah. But he's been fucked.
Kingmakers usually get fucked.
Yeah, you're playing in the music biz.
Yeah.
So Pops, right then, they're back at the talent show again, right? And Pops from Friday, he announces them, give it up for the 5 heartbeats. And then it cuts back to the end of the talent show, and they lost because they're all in the dressing room. Like, and then the manager guy is paying them to Eddie the $100.
Right.
Said, right. And then right then, as these Dresser's watching him give him all the money, and then Dresser goes, "Man, give him his money back, man. This guy is a good, like a stand-up guy."
He definitely kept to his word.
And Eddie looks at him coldly and goes, "A deal's a deal." Eddie's that motherfucker, as you can see.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So right then, a guy from the club comes in and he's like, "Hey, I thought you guys were great, blah, blah, blah. I want to offer you a contract to perform at this club regularly." And then right then, Eddie looks back and he says, how about talk to our new manager? And he hands the guy the 100 back.
Ooh.
Real smooth.
Good businessman.
Yeah. And then they all kind of like celebrate, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, all right. And then the next scene, Eddie is showing Eddie, and he's coming home, right, to his mom and his dad.
Right.
And his mom was like, baby, hey, Eddie, how was the show? And then Eddie was like, oh, it went good, mama, it went good. And then right then the dad says, you ain't shit.
So good dad.
Good dad.
Yeah, supportive.
Shit.
Really there for his kids, probably.
You ain't gonna be shit.
God.
You wanna know why? Because I ain't shit.
Well, that's actually a fair point.
Mm-hmm. So they kind of stare off at each other.
Yeah.
And Eddie's looking at him. And then Eddie walks off, right?
Yeah.
And then the mom's, of course, like, why don't you care about that boy? And then he goes, I do care about that boy. I just want him to be better than me. That's it.
So intense.
He's clearly fucked up, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my God, yeah.
So...
I don't think I was supposed to laugh there, but that made me laugh.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
So,
you hear that all the time.
Yeah,
that people, or not pop, or like people be like, to all the people who told me I wouldn't be anything. Who does that? Do people do that?
Yeah.
Do people in your life, has someone gone around to you and be like, you ain't gonna be shit?
And meant it?
And not even like, because people are like, all my teachers that say it, all my like my mom or dad who said it or whatever the fuck. Like, what person who's an actual authority figure like that does that to people?
Someone.
I mean, I guess it happens, but to every artist, probably not.
I don't think it happened. It's like, I remember my boy, Darren Bates.
Yes.
The reason he left my high school after junior year to go to a different high school was because our coach told him, you're not good enough to play in the SEC.
Oh, wow. He was wrong.
Freshman all SEC at starter at Auburn, won a national title there. Going into his 6th season in the NFL. Yeah, he was really wrong.
Yeah, he was very wrong.
He was really, and he told him that, and Darren said, oh, and he left.
All right.
So people do that shit, man.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, it's weird. But I guess you kind of need to hear it from somebody.
Someone's got to tell you no.
Yeah, somebody's got to tell you no.
Someone's got to tell you no for you to light that fire under you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're fucking... I guess if everyone tells you can do it, there's a sense of complacency.
Yeah, how are you going to be in a great band? How are you going to do this shit?
That's true. You need your nays.
And it does take discipline, real discipline to be great. To be any kind of great, too. Back to this movie.
Right. All right. So... Eddie's dad cares about this boy.
So the manager, in the next shot, they're all at the manager's house again, right? And he brings in an old sergeant from the army. He's like, this is my old sergeant, good buddy of mine. He's going to be our new dance instructor. He's the best dancer in the world. And then right then, Dresser goes off. How you going to bring in some old drunk, blah, blah, blah. I'm the one who comes up with the dances. Why are you going to do this? This guy don't know what he's talking about. And then right then, the old guy goes, shut your ass, young blood, before you step into something, you can't back up. And then he's like, oh. And he takes his jacket off. He's like, show me your best combination. And then the dresser's like, what? He's like, come on, fucking talking all that shit. Show me your best combination. And the dresser does like some cool fancy dance moves, you know what I mean? And then the other guy's like, ooh, cat daddy. They're talking shit. And he's watching them. And he's, hold my cane. And then he just shits on him. Just like all that shit, just killing it. And then they're all just kind of looking at him like, oh, fuck, Yeah, and
dude.
then goes right into a black. I love this shot. It fades into black and white and then goes into a montage. But the montage doesn't play music. It plays like the piano music that you hear at the Comedy Store, that like that. Yeah. And the montage is just black and white photos of them at rehearsal. So it looks like you'd be watching this from a documentary.
So like a VH1 where they
that's what it looks like.
But
so it's a really cool shot. I thought it was like, oh, that's a cool way to do a flashback to make it look like it
actually happened. Yeah. That is third person. Good way to put that.
They made it look like they were really in rehearsals and they're really and they're talking like regular pictures of what it would look like if the Temptations were at rehearsal.
Okay.
What you would think, you know what I mean? Like those kind of pictures. And that was the whole montage. And it was like to show like, oh, they're working hard and they're in rehearsals at 6 a.m., leaving at night. You know what I mean? It was one of those kind of like to show you how hard they're working.
Okay. Right? How long is this movie?
2 hours on the dot.
Okay.
Yeah. Like literally on the dot. So it looks really cool. And then right then it kind of fades. They're rehearsing right before the next talent show, right? And it fades back into color. And as they're rehearsing on stage, another group is in the back watching. This is not the Flash group. This is a different group, okay? Remember when you said earlier?
Yeah. Where are they rehearsing again?
They're rehearsing in the theater before the talent show.
In the theater before the talent show. Okay.
This is like the pre-rehearsal, like, you know what I mean? Like pre-show rehearsal.
Okay. The Flash groups are their allies, and they form a Voltron of groups.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe. Yeah. Best guess you've had so far. So this other group now is watching, right? And they're like, man, these fucking chumps can't beat us. You know what I mean? They're hating on them. And then one guy goes, man, the leader of that group goes, we have to win tonight. We have to win tonight. There's too much on the line, too much industry. There's no way we can't win. And then the other guy says, he's like, oh, that's good. He said, there's not going to be the regular MC tonight. Tonight, my cousin's going to MC. And the lead guy looks back and he goes, yeah, like real evil, right? And then right then he looks to his girl and he goes, Cookie, I want you to bring all your girlfriends and you know what to do. And she's like, I got it, boss. Like, ooh. And then that's it. That's the end of that scene, okay?
Ooh, I like that. In a competition.
Yeah.
All that shit matters.
All that shit, bro.
All that shit matters. When I did the San Francisco comedy competition a couple years ago, I changed the way I dressed for the venue.
Oh, because you saw the venue looked?
I saw, no. Like, I knew where the venue was going to be and the age range of the people there. So I dressed accordingly. Every college, I wore something nerdier.
Yeah.
I wore like a periodic table of elements, stuff like that. When we did the old folks home, I dressed up really nice.
And then in one, did you plan to sabotage one?
Yeah. And then in the other one, I brought a bunch of girls to just fuck everyone.
Just fuck over everyone's sets.
Yeah.
Like that actually you could do.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Yeah. Just, all right, bring in my harem. Yeah.
Bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
Like, where did you find these? So the theater is now packed to the rafters.
Right.
The talent show started. And the host goes, introducing Bird and the Midnight Falcons. And then that bad guy group comes out, right?
Good name.
They're dressed in all white. And then they're like, baby, stop running around. Baby, stop running around. And then the lead guy goes, when I was just a young boy playing with my toys. Right? That's his song, okay? And he's singing this like that kind of cadence.
Right.
And then the Cookie Girl's in the front row with all her friends, and her friends are screaming and losing their mind like, this is Michael Jackson. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he meant. Like, so they're going nuts for this guy, okay?
Right.
So the old guy, the Sarge guy, the dance instructor, he's watching him, and then he goes back to the dressing room and he's like, he said, those boys are good, but they can't touch us. You know what I mean? And then right then the MC comes up and he goes, hey guys, sorry, but we got a new rule. Turns out the house piano player has to play for all the groups. Like you can't use your own piano player.
Right after Bird and the Midnight Falcon.
So right then, of course, Duck's like, no, he doesn't know our music. We rehearsed. No, this is my music. You're not messing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which you would feel. It's like, yo, this is my material.
Fuck that.
Yeah. And then the guy was like, the guy was like, hey, man, it's just the rules, blah, blah, blah. And then the manager guy starts going off, hey, man, we've been rehearsing, blah, blah, blah. We'll walk and all this shit. And then the MC goes, hey, man, I just told you the rules. Get off my back, and walks off. Ooh. So it was like, what you now,
I would play my own piano music and just get disqualified, but be better than everyone.
Yeah.
That's the...
No. They said they're not allowed.
Oh. Well, I mean, if you're not allowed and you just make it happen, you would lose, but everyone would see how good you are.
I think when by saying, you'll see, just listen, you'll see what I'm saying. By not allowed, you're about to see what I mean.
Okay.
I mean, not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so... They're still singing, like they cut back to the Flash guy and he's like on stage, like acting a fool, like breaking down, like falling to the ground, like James Brown kind of shit,
right.
And he's like, baby, stop running around. He's like crying and all the girls are like trying to, and the cookie girl is like sitting in her chair, like watching this all happen, like the lead girl, and she's like,
and then her girlfriends are the same.
No, they're all like screaming, and she's like she organized it, like she was, she's killing it, right. Like, I did this, right. So right then the guy is like he's acting a fucking fool on stage, and then they ends and his friends, like the other guys in the band, are like fanning him as they drag him off as he pretends to be passed out.
Right.
So the MC comes back out, the crowd's going nuts for that group. All right, the Birds and the Falcons. MC comes back out and he goes, "Okay, everybody, this next group told me to say that they're better than Birds and the Midnight Falcons and the Temptations all rolled into one." Boo! Just 1,000 people. Boo! Fuck them! They suck! Boo! Get them out of here! And then the MC goes, "Oh, hey, all right. Let's give them a shot. Give it up for the 5 heartbeats." And then everybody, boo! And then the cookie girl, the main girl, she's telling all her friends, like, louder, bah! And they're just screaming boos at the top of their lungs, okay? So they get into the position, like they all looking around, they're trying to ignore it. And the song starts slow, like the piano guy, he's kind of playing it half-assed. It's like you can hear the bad notes, like you can kind of hear him messing up.
Right.
And then Duck turns around and he looks at the piano guy, he's like, "Pick it up, man, come on." And the piano guy's like, waves him off and like keeps playing shitty.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then right then Eddie starts singing, he's like, "Two wrong." It's a slow song too, so and they're getting booed.
Right.
It's a slow, and the other guy just did a fast song. And so he's like, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Bah! You can't barely even hear him. You know what I mean? Because it's a slow song. And then the girls are yelling, "This nigga ain't nobody. He ain't nobody." Just hear all this shit, right?
I hate this MC. Oh my God.
Oh, the worst guy ever.
Yeah, good Lord.
So
that's some no talent shit to do.
So Duck, they show Duck, and he clearly he can't focus, right? And he's trying to get somebody can't. And then everybody's yelling, "Go home," as they're trying to still sing this song. And they get to the hook right there, and he's like, "A heart is a house of love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break a heart." And they're trying to hit the melodies right, but the piano, and Duck keeps looking back like, you know what I mean? And then people keep booing and yelling. And the manager and the Sarge guy, they're like, "We're getting him off stage. This is bullshit. We're not." And they go up and they try to get the piano guy. Like they run up to get and then the security comes up and grabs them and yanks them off stage.
Okay.
And then now Sarge is like, "I'll fucking kill you." So now so that's what I mean by they weren't letting them do this.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So they set up the whole talent show just to fuck with them.
Over. Yeah. So that's what I mean by like, I get what you were saying. And it was like, oh, that wasn't an option.
Okay.
So now Sarge, of course, he's going off. Like, "I'll fucking kick y'all's asses." You know what I mean?
Right. And
then so it shows Duck, and now it's zoomed in on him. And he's on stage, and he's just like he can't believe this is happening. And then he slowly stops dancing, and then the brother goes, "Duck, do the steps, finish this, man. Come on, we're gonna do this." And then he goes, "No, JT, that's my music, man. That's my music." And then he slowly walks over to the piano and he fucking grabs the guy and throws him off, right? And he just goes, and he's going crazy. And then right then, of course, oh, the longest oh. Bro, and the crowd, go, you hear boo. people start losing their fucking minds, bro.
Yeah.
And he keeps the O going.
Yeah.
The O is still going. All this time I'm talking, if you're watching the movie, he's still, it does not break the note. It's
oh man, if you can turn those boos into cheers, it's over for everybody.
That note where you're like, it's the best scene in the movie. My dad made me watch this scene. Shout out to Ricky Posen. You made me watch this scene so much as a kid. This is one of my dad's favorite movies of all time.
Right.
All time. So I've seen this movie a million times. And this scene is the best scene in the movie because it's just like the boo to cheer thing is so cool to see.
Right.
How he hits this note. And then Duck's hitting that piano. Crowd's going fucking crazy. And then right then Duck cuts the piano right after the O. And then you hear him go, Eddie goes, it takes more than love. It's quiet in the theater. More than love. You gotta build it up. Build it up. Ah! And then they show all the girls now who were born are now screaming for real. And then they show the cookie girl and she's like this. And like she's like about to come in her pants.
Yeah, trying to hold herself back.
Oh yeah. Because he's killing these notes, right?
Right.
And then he goes, Duck, let's do it like we do this, you know? And then right then he looks at the crowd and he goes, is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up. And then in the background, stand up, right? And everybody hits their feet, you know what I mean? And now they jump down to the front row and he grabs the fucking, right then they show Choir Boy, he comes back into and peeks out and he sees that they're killing it now.
Right.
And he's like,
did Choir Boy leave the...
I forgot to say, when they were getting booed, he ran off because he's like, not another bottle. And he ran off.
Ah, that's funny.
Because he saw the booze. He was like, man, fuck this. Not again.
Yeah.
You know? And so they're screaming. And then he grabs the cookie girl, Eddie, to kiss her. And then she's like, and then right when he's about to kiss her, she passes out. And he goes, and it just drops.
That's great.
And then, so right then, they're still singing, is there a heart in the house tonight? And then Choir Boy hits in the background, like a really high note. And then the crowd just fucking absolute pandemonium, right?
Right.
And then the song finishes and then standing ovation. And then the one girl is just dead and all her friends are fanning her. You know what I mean?
Just dead. She died.
And then they're kind of looking around slow-mo and then Duck puts his hand out like this and then they all fucking because it was just you can feel that moment of yo, we're about to be huge.
We fucking did it.
Yeah, and then they show another record company guy in the crowd and he's like lighting up and just oh, what the fuck is this group?
The fuck did I run into? Yeah.
Also, interesting side note about this song, is there a heart in the house tonight? When I saw Kevin Hart for the first time ever during the Laugh at My Pain tour in a theater, he came out to this song. It was the coolest thing ever. So, it goes black and then all you see are red hearts in Neo going all around this is like a 10,000 person room.
What year is this?
2011, 12.
Okay, so this
Laugh
is...
at My Pain.
Okay.
Third special.
Okay.
Yeah. Fucking the room, the red hearts are going everywhere and then it stops and then all the hearts start beating. And then you hear, is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight?
So people lost their minds.
Stand up and everybody, stand up. And it came out, dude. One of the coolest intros. And I was like, is there a heart in the house tonight?
That's amazing.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius, dude.
So basically, I need to find one. Is there an Ahmad in the house?
Is there an Ahmad in the house tonight?
I gotta find.
And then the crowd, stand up. Yeah. And then, of course, everyone just,
wow. Yeah.
And that's how he came out, dude.
Oh, that's nuts.
It was so bad.
That's nuts.
So the next shot, they are at a bar, right? And a hot girl's calling over to Duck, and she's like this to Duck, and he's so happy.
Hell yeah.
And then he looks at JT. He's like, JT, let's do Shy Brother. And then JT's like, he's trying to drink, and he's like, what? And he's like, let's do Shy Boy. Let's do Shy Brother. And then JT's like, who? And he's like, that girl. And JT's like, okay, right? And then right then, people are coming up and telling him, hey, you guys were great show. And then a guy comes up and he goes, hey, man, is it all right? My boss wants to meet you guys. And then the record company guy I was talking about comes up that was watching him all lit up. And you can tell immediately he's a manic, crazy person. His name's Big Red.
Okay.
He looks like a shark. Okay. And he's just that manic energy. I'm just like, man, you guys were wild, man. Oh, I fucking loved it, man. You guys are gonna be great until you got to sign with me. You know, he's just that kind of energy. You're like, well, this guy's kind of a lot. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I want to sign with a guy like that. Well, you kind of do.
Maybe, right? It's one of those.
Those people do well in the music, in
industry.
showbiz industry, show business in general.
They're sharks, and they're fake as fuck, and they're animals. You know what I mean? They don't care about anyone's feelings. So right then, like he's saying hi to everybody, and he goes, I'm just a country old boy, but I do anything for my artists. You can ask anybody that. He's just something weird about him. And then he's saying hi to everybody, and then he says hi to Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, "What's up, man?" The manager guy, and then he says hi to his wife, and they clearly know each other, and the wife doesn't like him. The wife's like, I hate this guy. You know what I mean? So Jimmy, you
gotta listen to your wife.
So he tells him that he wants, you guys want to sign with me? Here's my car, blah, blah, blah. He walks off. Right then, the manager guy tells them that this Saturday they're going to go to the studio and record their first single. So they all go crazy. They're like, yeah, everything's looking up. So right then that all happens, and then Duck looks at JT again. He's like, JT, let's do Shy Boy, man. Come on. I like that he broke it up, too. I like that he started the Shy Boy thing, then did that, then ended on and for this one scene. You know what I mean? I really like this. And so he goes, let's do Shy Boy, man. And then JT's like, all right. So he walks over to the girl, JT, and then ducks off. Like like how JT was earlier in the movie, pretending to be shy. So JT walks over and he's like, how's it going? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, oh, I'm just looking at your brother. That your brother's kind of cute. And he's like, man, he's just a shy idiot. And she goes, what? And he goes, look at him, look at him over there, all stupid looking. And then she looks and he's like making faces. And then she goes, yeah, he does look kind of stupid.
Oh my God.
And then he starts hitting on her. And he's like, you want to leave with me? And she's like, yeah. And then it cuts back to Duck, who's looking, and he's like, work it, JT, work it. Because he's thinking it's for him. And so finally they start walking over, and then he gets up and he like puts his arm out like this. And then JT leans in his ear and goes, I tricked you. And then Duck's like, and then he walks out with this girl. And Duck is like, what the fuck?
Ooh.
And then right then, a big giant motherfucker gets up and goes, I have to fight every night to prove my love. Poof! And he starts running over to JT. And JT's like, yo, hey man, whoa. And you can't, because it's off camera. And then all you see is Duck go, like all happy. And he runs over like all happy. And then the scene cuts.
Oh, so JT gets his ass kicked.
He gets his ass beat. And Duck's so happy.
Well, that's what he gets.
Oh, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's a piece of shit thing to do.
Piece of shit, JT.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So,
that's your brother. That's not even,
right?
Yeah.
And he did.
He does it for you.
Sam said he did it for him earlier.
Yeah. That's what I would think. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck?
So, next scene, Duck is trying to write a hit song.
Right.
He's trying to write a new hit song for, because they got to be in the studio Saturday.
Right.
And there's trash all over the ground. You know what I mean? He's crumpling them, writing, crumpling them up. And his little sister's behind him trying to clean the room.
Okay.
And then she's like, stop throwing paper on the ground. You know what I mean? And he's like, I got to write a hit song. You don't understand, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, I got to write a song by Saturday. You don't know how much trouble I'm going to be in. And she's like, well, why don't you just, and then she starts looking around. She grabs one of them. She reads it. She's like, well, this is good. And then she grabs another one. She's like, that's good. Why don't you just combine this part with this part? And he's like, what? And then slow music starts playing. Like a piano comes in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's still trying to write. You know what I mean? And then right then she goes, she starts like a slow beat comes up and the little sister starts singing. All the songs are phenomenal, by the way.
Right.
Starts singing her fucking ass off, dude. She's just like, no matter how hard it gets.
And she's singing what's written down.
Oh, yeah. She's singing what's written. She's like, we haven't finished yet. No matter how hard we try. And then like the brother's like, oh, that does sound good. And then he runs to the trash can. He looks at it. He grabs it. He's like, read this one. And then she's like, we can't just say goodbye. And then now he starts telling her the lyrics to say and as she's singing them. And then they do this for like 5 minutes.
Ooh.
It's a great scene, but it's way too
long.
Hey, Robert, this was a great scene. I get it. It's cute because it's cute. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's family.
It did not have to be 5 minutes. There's a full dance break in this scene.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
She
just gets out. She starts dancing.
They're dancing.
Using the broom.
Yeah, the whole thing.
All right.
And and then, they're singing. And then finally the girl does like a final little solo and then she walks out the room.
Right.
And the brother's like, I got a hit. You know what I mean?
I did it.
Yeah. So the next scene, a white manager is, they're talking to a white manager now, right?
Right.
Like a white company.
I was like, yeah, when's the white guy going to come in?
And
so it's an eventuality.
And he's telling him, yo, I love this record. This is hot. This is the new sound. It's brilliant. He goes, I have one little problem though. I don't think this is the right song for this group. And then they're like, what? And he's like, Marsha, send in the 5 horsemen. And then in walk 5 white dudes with blonde white wigs. They clearly all have white wigs on, like blonde wigs. And sweaters with H's on them.
They're just kind of stealing the style.
Completely. And then he goes, all right, boys, show them what you got. And then they all start singing, ain't got no money, no fancy car. Hey, Jack. And they're like singing like real. And of course they're looking at him like, what the fuck? Okay. So the next shot, cut. Now they're talking to the big red guy. They went to another company and now they went to the shady guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jimmy's talking to him, let's make a deal, blah, blah, blah. And then he's negotiating back and forth, and you can tell the big red dude is just shady as shit.
Right.
And then finally Jimmy like gets one thing that he does want. I forgot what it was. It was like options for more songs or whatever. And he's like, I'll give you that. And then he's like, you got a deal. And then they're all celebrating, like, yeah. And then the groups, they start taking pictures for the album cover. Like it's a montage of them taking pictures for the album cover, okay? So next scene, Duck goes to the door of that letter. Remember the letters he was writing that girl?
Right.
And he knocks and she answers and he goes, I got to tell you that I'm the one that's been leaving you poetry. And then she's like, oh my God, it's beautiful, blah, blah. They talk for a second. And then she goes, I think you should leave though. Because she sells a guy,
Right.
And then right then, like her mom comes out and she thinks he's with Goodwill. So she hands him a bunch of like clothes and then he just drops them and leaves.
That's funny.
So, because he's just like, oh, this sucks. Every time I try to talk to this girl, I get hurt,
Yeah, Jesus.
So
I get that though. Oh my God.
Next scene, they're all laying in bed. They're still poor. They're in a twin bed with 5 people in it. Okay, this is JT and Duck. So they're brothers and sisters. They're all crammed in this bed. Pops is on the radio, the guy from Friday, and he's talking crazy shit about how weird fish smells. He's being really funny. He's talking crazy shit, right? And then he goes, all right, but coming up next, we got a new song, a new hit song from the 5 Heartbeats. You know what I mean? And then one of their songs starts playing on the radio, and then they are like they're asleep, and then you hear JT go, Duck, cut. And he's like, cut the music off, man. It's too early. And then Duck's like, oh, that's not the music. That's not me, man. It's the radio. It's the radio. We're on the radio. And then they fucking the whole house.
Oh my God.
They lose their goddamn minds in the house. And they're all singing the song. They're all dancing, right?
That must be a good feeling to hear your song on the radio.
Naturally too?
Yeah.
Like they didn't tell you. You just woke up to it.
Yeah. I can't. It's just like the first time you hear it, especially like even like a big star. Like I wonder what like Beyonce felt with the first time.
Yeah, the first time she heard, or The Weeknd, or Drake. I don't give a fuck who you are, bro. How does that not be like? I can't believe that's my voice.
Yeah,
millions
of people,
billions. They're all hearing it.
Millions.
Millions. So they get the next scene. They get like a 5 Heartbeats touring car because now they have a hit single. So now they can go on the road. Right. So they get a touring thing that says 5 Heartbeats on it, and they're walking to the car and like with their families, right? And then JT and Duck's dad's telling them like, "Hey, where Jimmy on their road?" And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "A condom." They're like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
And then it shows.
Why is that called a Jimmy?
Jimmy hat, because you're Jimmy.
Oh.
So they so the next they show Choir Boy. Now he's talking to his family, and his dad is a pastor, right? And his dad's going off. You can't serve 2 masters. You're gonna be going out there sinning, blah blah blah. God didn't give you, God gave you choices, like the ability to make choices, to make good choices. And then the Choir Boy goes, but Dad, God also gave me this voice. I should do something with it. And the dad's like, you can't serve 2 masters. That's sinning. You either serve God or you serve singing. Blah blah blah, right? And then he storms off, and then he's looking at his dad, and the mom goes, the mom was like, hey baby. It's your life. Just have fun. And then she hands him a Bible. And then she says, but I want a gold record. And then they smile and then they hug, right? And she's crying and then he goes. Yeah. And so they are stuffed in this car, right? And then they're going to their first place to perform, the Harlem Duke. And they're so excited that they're going to perform at the Harlem Duke. And then they get there and it's pretty much empty. Karaoke bar. Yeah. Like they have one microphone hooked onto the box that's like right here. Right. You know what I mean? And they're trying to sing and they can't really pass the microphone. And then nobody's paying attention to them. And it's just awful. Like, and that's their first gig.
Hey, that sounds like a first gig.
It does. It legitimately
sounds like a first gig. That's a first gig for sure.
So the next shot is them at like a truck stop, and they're surrounded by all these rednecks. They don't really notice it though, because they're like all talking. And then Choir Boy's on the phone arguing with his dad, like, "Dad, I'm still doing this. We're a family. You don't understand. I love singing." And he hangs up and he leaves his Bible at the truck stop. Right, it drives off. So the next shot, they're driving at night, and then you hear whoop 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 whoop. Right. They get pulled over, and then JT's like, "Duck, what'd you do?" And then Duck's like, "I didn't do anything." And then 5 to 6 sheriff cops get out these 2 cop cars and they start tapping on the glass. The music, and then the music just changes right there. It gets really intense. Right. And then you hear, "Let me see them hands, boys. let's see them hands. And then they surround the car and they're like, everyone out. And then the next shot is all their shits on the ground just getting thrown and searched through. And then you see the two managers, and manager and Sarge are sitting on the curb. And then the rest of the band have their hands on the car. And they're kind of circling them, all the cops. And they're looking at them kind of like smug and laughing. And then one of them goes, how am I supposed to know y'all a singing group? And they kind of look up at him. He's like, well, if y'all a singing group, why don't you sing something for me?
God.
Real cold like that too. And then all the other cops kind of start laughing.
Cops are the fucking worst, dude.
And he looks up and they all look around sad at each other. And then they don't want to do it. And then the dresser guy, because the cops start getting angry, like looking at him like, y'all better fucking do this. And then the dresser guy goes, real sad scene. He goes, I got nothing but love for you, baby. And no emotion, just looking cold, right? I got nothing but love for you. And then right then Duck and then JT, I got nothing. But they still sound beautiful because they can sing. Right. And then choir boys join, and then they're all singing, I got nothing but love. And they're all looking dead, right? And then it cuts to Eddie and he's pretty much fucking crying. And he's just like, he can't do it. You know what I mean? You can see he physically, he's just crazy. He's like, I can't be, I'd rather die. Yeah. You know? And then the next shot, of course, it cuts to, and they're all in the car and it's quiet and it's just all on their faces and they're all looking out the window and shit. And then it cuts to Duck and he's like tapping on the glass and he's just going, America, America. I've seen it. Beautifully shot, dude. Robert Townsend. A lot of people think for racism, you got to be extra nigger, blah, blah, blah. No.
Subtle.
Racism. It's real. It made
always
it feel real.
Subtle. Yeah.
Why don't y'all saying something for me? Didn't that feel like, oh, man, that probably has for sure happened to some black group.
Oh, yeah. And they just had to perform for this.
And they had to sing like, they just had to do it.
Just to fucking...
get through that. Like, well, we want to survive tonight.
Yeah. That's I do think that, like, right, the best movies are when the racism's subtle. It's like real looks subtle. And like just the smart shit that people say. Whenever
it's like, you niggers can't read. I laugh. Because funny.
Yeah. It's also like, most people, when they deal with the actual day-to-day racism, don't deal with that.
No. Even though, I mean, this is the 60s, so they could have done that for the time era.
But I think it's a smarter choice. It's a smarter choice.
Because it kept you like this the whole scene. Like, ooh, this is dark. Like, this is dark.
Well, then everyone expects the other way, too. Everyone expects the over the top.
Yeah, and then they're going to get beaten, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No. Just have them sing. That's so subtly, horribly racist. And horrifying for them.
I remember when I first moved to LA, there was a billboard near the Nerdist sign. And it said, the guy, the person for the job might not be the person that looks right for the job. And it was just a Mexican guy in a suit.
I remember you told me about that.
Yeah, subtle. Racism is subtle.
Should be subtle. That's when it's the best.
Yeah. That's some quality racism right there. It's like, what?
Oh, man. All right. So the next scene, the band is they're at a bus stop and they're waiting for this white guy to come talk to him, right? Mm-hmm. And then right when he gets off, they start bombarding him with questions. They're like, yo, you got the money? Can we start staying in better hotels? Do you have the album cover? Blah, blah, blah. They just ask him all these questions. And he's like, yeah, I got your checks. Don't worry, guys. We're going to take care of you. Right. And he's like, and I also have the album cover. He goes, but now first, Big Red really wants you to know that he really, really believes in you guys. Okay? And they're like, okay.
I don't like this.
He goes, now we changed the album cover a little bit because we want to make sure we attract white folks as much as we attract Negroes. And they're like, yeah, they're all like, yeah, we want white folks and Negroes. We don't care. It's music, right? And then he pulls out the album cover and it's just a white family on a beach. Not even like singing. Me and Trey laughed so hard at this point. Me and Trey watched the whole movie with us.
Okay.
Because he's seen it many times. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Bro, we're just dying laughing because it's just a white family on a beach. You know what I mean? Because we were also like, wow, wouldn't they just put a heart? 5 heartbeats. Just put a heart on the album cover.
But the white family.
5 hearts.
The white family is so funny.
The white family is way funny.
That's funny.
But I'm talking about like legitimately, we don't want to show black faces.
Yeah. Put a heart.
Let's just put 5 hearts.
Yeah.
You won. And a black album cover, 5 hearts, is actually like a legit album cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's as far as like, because like representation in Hollywood is like a big thing now, but it's like you think like, oh my God, like in the 60s, they would be thinking that. They would be like, oh, we can't show a black face.
No. 5 of them? Definitely not.
Yeah. Right? And I was like, oh wow. That's crazy.
Think about we're going to show Ray Charles, like the famous black guys that could have been shown. The Ray Charles, maybe James Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, how hard was it for them?
Yeah. I mean, they had to be blind.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
also, I named 3 of the greatest musicians to ever walk the planet Earth, and I can imagine how hard it was for them to show their face. Like, if
Oh, they probably had to be legends before they could do it. That's an interesting thing. I want to go back through maybe James Brown and Ray Charles.
Temptations. Go through all those old catalogs.
Oh yeah, see, it's just the album covers and see if
There's got to be something because you don't get this story from nowhere.
right. That's interesting.
It's got to have happened, right? Like to some of that, where like we'd be like, oh wow,
Like Ray Charles' first album.
yeah, like and they're like great music. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, dude. So they, of course, they show the white family and they go off. They're like, what the fuck is this shit? You know? And then they're like, we're not putting this out. And they're like, the white guy goes, too late. Your album's already out.
Right.
Because we have all the power. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
And then he's like, but don't worry. The guy's like, don't worry. We're going to get you guys to cross over. And then Eddie goes, why are niggas always the one that has to cross over? Why do we have to cross over?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, because he said, we're the ones that make the music, yet you can't accept our faces? And then he storms off. And they're like, Eddie, come on. Because they're trying to rationalize, like, oh, we're making a lot of money. You know, like when you start hearing those numbers and you're like, and then Eddie storms. He's like, fuck that. And he storms off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
How much of your soul are you willing to trade?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So next scene, Duck is in the hallway chilling, right?
Right.
And Eddie comes out to the hallway. They're in the hallway of this hotel. And then he's like, Eddie, what you doing, man? And then Eddie's like, choir boy's got a girl in the room. And then they look at each other like, choir boy's got a girl in the room? And then they start laughing, right? So right then, Dresser, he comes out his room as well. And then they're like, Dresser, what are you doing? And he's got like a serious face. He's like, I got to go for a walk. And they're like, you all right? And he's like, and they're like, what's going on, man? We're with you every day. We know something's up. Tell us. And then he goes, my girl's pregnant. And then they're like, fuck. You know? And he goes, all right, well,
feels like a death sentence for a young artist.
Yeah, they go, it's going to be good, man. Blah, blah, blah. You love your girl. It doesn't matter. He goes, man, I love my girl more than anything in the world. Y'all know that. And he goes, but he says, there's no way I'm going to be able to raise a kid on what we make and the life we do. Like, I can't. Yeah. You know? And he gets all sad and he's like, I called Big Red. And he goes, he gave me a number to one of those doctors. This is the 60s, so you can imagine abortion.
So it's like
it would be talked like in that kind of tone.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, like, abortion's probably not safe.
No. That's why he said, gave me the number. We said one of those doctors. So the way he said it is like, oh, I just love the references like that. You know? One of those doctors. And then Eddie cuts him off and he goes, didn't you say you love her more than anything in the world? And then Dresser's like, yeah. And then he takes the number out of his hand, and he crumples it up. He throws it, takes money out of his pocket, all the money that he just made, all of it, takes it all out of his pocket, and goes. And then right then Duck goes and takes all his money, gives it out to him, and then Dresser starts crying. He's like, you guys know I can't take this, man. You know, you guys, you know I can't do this. And then Duck, all Duck does is just puts his hand out like that. And then Eddie puts his hand out, and then the Dresser guy just hugs him and breaks down.
Whew.
Fade to black.
Jesus, this is intense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say not the lighthearted comedy that I was hoping it would be.
No, it's just a real movie.
Yeah. Fuck. God damn it. I was hoping after Gravity, we'd get something less heavy. And fuck.
Is that singing?
I guess it's not.
Spacewalks?
Yeah, I guess it's not. I guess you're not trying to survive disasters. Although, I just think Dresser just kind of survived a disaster in his own little way, yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
So the next shot, they're on stage killing it again at another show, right?
Right.
And Duck and JT are arguing. You know, Duck's like, man, I'm sick of you. You're bullshit. You're always stealing my toothbrush. You're always fucking taking my money. You're always fucking doing, fucking the girls that I want to fuck. Like, I'm so sick of your shit. You're always making me sleep in the hallway. I'm fucking mad at you, man. And then Duck's like, shut up, stop being a little bitch.
Wait, JT?
Like, JT says, stop being a little bitch, right? And they keep, this is while Eddie's singing and they're performing and dancing, right? And he's saying this off the mic.
That's fine.
And then Duck looks at him, he just rips his jacket. And then JT's like, what the fuck? And then everybody else keeps performing, and then JT in another room rips his jacket. And then, of course, they just start fighting, and the other three guys keep performing.
That's smart. You got it. Show must go on.
Right? And then the manager's like looking at him. He's like, the Jimmy guy, and he's like, I got to teach them how to use everything they do. And then the Sarge guy goes, should we stop it? And he goes, no. Let them finish. They'll be all right. You know? So the next show, it's literally same song. They're doing the same song, same outfit, right? Mm-hmm. And then Duck and JT, they're fighting again. Same argument, and it looks real. And then right then, Eddie goes, Duck, right now, he said, Duck, instead of fighting, you guys are always fighting, how about we just break it down? He goes, what? Let's break it down. And then right then, they look at each other, and everybody rips each other's like clothes off, and they all have like shiny ass clothes on, like underneath their clothes.
Yeah.
And then they go, nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Crowd goes nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
Crowd
a good
goes fucking crazy.
Oh, that's a good way to do a costume
Oh,
change.
yeah, it was
Like
really-
showmanship
they're about
wise,
to-
that's
they look like
amazing.
they all look like they're about to fight each other. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then they all just rip it. It is a good shot.
Right.
So the next shot, they get back home, and Big Red has, like, from tour, and Big Red has, like, 8 Cadillacs lined up. And he goes,
yeah.
pick a color! And he's, like, all crazy. And then they're like, yeah! And then, of course, montage of them. Fancy dinners, fancy clothes, fancy cars, houses. You know what I mean? Like
Women.
Yeah, they're living it up. You know, they got they're on the cover of all the magazines now. They got on America Bandstand. You know what I mean? It's just a montage of all this shit. They're having families. You know what I mean? Like now they're having like they show the dresser guy. He's having a family. You know
So it's a montage over years,
or at least a year, maybe.
Okay.
You know? Because a year. It's a year.
That's a year.
December 25th. The next shot, it says the time again. It goes December 25th, 1967, and it's Duck, and he's got his family, and they all got their eyes closed. He goes, "All right, everybody, open them." And then he opens it, and he buys everybody a the family a brand new mansion.
Ooh.
So they're rolling in it now. Okay. They also all have mustaches now.
Okay. That's
time
funny.
has moved a little bit. Sam brought a good point. She was like, "Oh, it's interesting that to let you know that time is because they're all black and really good looking."
Yeah.
And so they don't look like they age. So they just have to keep giving them different, thicker mustaches and thicker afros. That's the only reason you know. Because their faces are exactly the same age.
That's really
funny. They just have bigger afros and thicker mustaches.
That's
to let you know, I guess they're a little older. Because they start with like short haircuts.
Right.
So now, he buys them a house. Then this is still the montage scene. They show Eddie. He's the one partying and doing cocaine.
Right,
doing
that
all
makes
the crazy
sense.
shit.
Yeah,
the other ones are just celebrating, living the life.
Yeah.
He's the one that's going nuts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the montage ends with them dropping another #1 hit. All right. So they're literally rolling.
Hit machines. Yeah.
They're rolling in and out. The camera fades out on a pic of like Eddie on the front of a magazine now.
Right.
Okay. So Eddie's girl comes to his dressing room. Right. And he's talking to some clearly like cocaine drug lord kind of guy.
Right.
And then she comes up to him and she goes, "Eddie, I know who you're with and I know what they do," pointing at the guy he's with. And then the guy's like, "You ain't gonna check your woman in front of me, bruh?" Like that. And then he looks at her because he's all fucked up. And then she says, "I can't sit back and watch you destroy yourself." And then she packs her things and she leaves. And then he's just like, you know what I mean? Just kind of fucked up looking stunned, So the next the next shot is now it's April 1968. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they are performing with the Bird and the Midnight Falcons group. Remember the evil group?
Yes.
They're like on a show with them. Like they're opening for them. Okay.
The Bird's opening for them.
Okay.
Fuck you, Bird.
And that guy, this is what made it so funny. So they cut to them and they're opening for them, right? And the guy is still singing the toy songs. When I was just a young boy playing with my toys, and they're still wearing the same outfits, and it's like, oh yeah.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. I know the comic version of that.
We know the comedian version of that guy.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah.
And we're also terrified of being him.
Oh God.
And I'm terrified of being Eddie. There's a lot of pitfalls in this shit.
Yeah, it's all pitfalls, really. You just try to.
It's all pitfalls.
It's all pitfalls. We're stupid.
Right? So,
I think we're very dumb.
So Eddie, he's late to this show, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets there, Jimmy's going off on him. And Jimmy and the Flash, remember the Flash guy?
Yeah.
The Flash guy was also on the show. I guess they opened for him as well.
Right.
And him and Jimmy, the manager, and the Flash guy were having a conversation when Eddie walks up. And so Eddie comes up and he goes, "I know what you're trying to do.
Right.
Trying to run me out with him," because he's all fucked up, And Jimmy's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he leaves. And then he looks at the Flash guy. He goes, "I see through your jive glass ass." Great line. Your jive glass ass.
Well, that's what happens, man. Once you get a taste of success, people are like, "Oh, I'm not gonna let him fuck me up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
and
gonna."
Yep. And he looks at it and goes, "You want my spot flash? Well, you ain't gonna get it because you ain't got it." Great. Also, I love that line. You ain't gonna get it because you
ain't got it. Yeah, it's a great line.
And the Flash guy's just looking at him like, "Dude, I don't even fucking know you." You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he's looking like, "I don't know who you are, man."
Right.
So they're at now another show,
Mm-hmm.
and Eddie doesn't show up at all. All right, this is the next day on the show. Eddie doesn't show up to the show at all. So Choir Boy, this is now Choir. He slowly goes up to the Jimmy the manager guy, right? And he goes, "Hey, Eddie's still not here." And the manager's like, "I know." And he goes, I can sing all his parts. I know all his parts." And the manager's like, "Okay." And he goes, "I'm just saying, if you're not here, I can do it." And then he goes, "All right, Choir Boy, you're going to be lead tonight." And then Choir Boy, he walks out. You can tell he has like a new confidence. And he's like, all right. You know, like you can see something's different. Something's now changed in him, just in this scene, okay? So a cleaning lady, next shot is a cleaning lady letting the group into Eddie's hotel room, okay? Hotel room's completely trashed. They're like, Eddie, get up, damn it. And he gets up and he's got 2 bad bitches in his bed. You know what I mean? He's clearly fucked up. And he's like, what's up? And then they're like, where were you last night? He's like, I didn't show up on purpose. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Where were you? And he's like, I gotta show Jimmy what time it is, man. He's fucking power tripping, you know? It's so funny to call somebody power tripping as you're power tripping.
Yeah, right? That's called projecting.
So Dresser tells him, he's like, man, stop putting this on Jimmy. You know this is about your drugs. You know this is about your drinking. We told you to cool out on this shit. You said you would, and look at you, you know? And then right then, Duck looks at him. He goes, you're worse than your old man. And then Eddie goes, motherfucker. And then he tries to kill him. Like he's literally trying to kill Duck. And then they have to rip him apart. That scene ends.
Good God.
So Choir Boy, he's now hitting on some hot girl at a party. Okay?
All the scene endings are really good.
Oh, dude, I love the way, Robert, I love the way you shot this. And I was watching The Godfather last night, and not to compare this to The Godfather. It's not I know, nigga.
Yeah.
The shots are similar. The shots are very similar in that it's simple. My favorite thing about watching The Godfather is the shots are simple, man. Not a lot of moving camera, not a lot of that shit.
No.
This scene, focus on what you need to focus on. Very almost like Tarantino does that shit too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, so the shot is clean always. And it's like, everything in the shot is important.
Yes, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
it's not busy.
Not busy. And this movie felt the same way.
Okay.
Oh man, he shot this great. It's also, made in the 90s, so maybe that's just how they had to shoot back then also. You know, now that I'm thinking about that.
Now I bet you there's some busy ass 90s movies.
Yeah, there definitely is. There's busy ass 80s movies. There's for sure. Yeah, he could have shot it way more.
Yeah, it's like the 90s were such a faraway time where they didn't have things on their sets. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Die Hard in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like they for sure in the 90s could have done. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're right. He made huge action movies. I mean, Star Wars in the 70s, dude.
When did this come out?
91.
91. Okay, early 90s.
Yeah. So it's a period piece, which I like too also. So Jimmy...
Oh, I got that it was a period piece by the fact that you told me it takes place in 1968. I think I put that one together. Thank you, though.
You're dumb. So
Fair.
He tells
how right was I about the band, though?
Oh, you nailed it. You nailed a lot of it. So Choir Boy is now hitting on some hot girl at a party, right?
Right.
And he tells her that he's the lead singer of the Five Heartbeats. And he writes most of the music. I thought you seen him start... bro... And he's
That's how you lose your place in the band.
The girl, he's like, my real name's Anthony Stone, but everybody calls me Rock.
Oh, and she's like...
Choir Boy says this.
Yeah, and she's probably like a journalist of some kind.
She's just all about it. She's just smitten like, oh man, there's something with the superstar guy.
Well, yeah, I guess, if she's nobody, I guess I could see the lie.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to get laid. He's bad at getting laid.
Yeah, but they're showing the character flaw. Like,
Oh, so he's like a nerdy guy that finally got power, and so he's...
they're all fucking up, man.
Yeah.
They're all fucking up besides Duck, it seems like.
Duck's about the music.
Yep.
If you're about the thing.
If you're about the thing.
If you are about the thing, it seems like he's about being cool.
Well, he wants to be cool, or he wants to be something. He wants to.
Well, he never was cool. He was a fucking
choir boy.
Yeah, choir
His
boy.
nickname's Choir Boy.
His nickname's Choir Boy. Family's so super religious.
Right. So he's telling her all this. So right then, they cut to Duck, and Duck's cousins are pitching. Like, remember the cousins from the beginning? Those are. They're pitching a group to him. They're awful. They're like, we're going to be this kind of group, right? And he's just listening to them, like placating them. And they're pitching this horrible idea. And then right then, the neighbor girl that he always loved taps him on the shoulder. He turns around. Hey, and he hugs her, and he's like, what are you doing here? And then, like, he clearly is still mad in love with this girl. You know what I mean?
It's hard to follow. You don't get to choose.
Right? And so she's talking, and then he goes, you want to get out of here and go somewhere? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, all right, I got to go tell my brother I'm leaving. And so he runs upstairs. He's like, he's looking, he's like, I got to find JT. And he's walking by in the hallway. He walks by Big Red. And Big Red's talking to like a group of like 6 guys. He's like, Big Red, you seen JT? He's like, oh, he's down the hallway. He's like, you ain't leaving, is you? You know, he's like all crazy. You can tell he's like coked up or something. And he's like, no, I'm just going to talk to my brother. He's like, all right, good. And then he goes back and he's like telling jokes. Like Big Red guy's like telling jokes to his crew, all right? Just like street jokes. And they're all laughing. And then right then, remember the Falcon guy, the bad guy from the beginning, the guy who was the evil guy, not the Flash dude, but the Falcon dude.
Yeah, I know. I remember Falcon dude.
So he comes up to Big Red, right? And he goes, Big Red, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you right now. And then Big Red goes, my office hours are from 9 to 5. And he goes, no, we need to talk about my royalties and your books. He goes, hey man, I can't talk right now. My office hours 9 to 5. You know, and then right then the guy goes, the Falcon guy goes, fuck your office hours. I want to talk now, motherfucker, about my royalties and your books.
Oh, he's probably about to get his ass
And
whooped.
Big Red smiles, turns around, and just knocks him the fuck out. And the guy screams, ah! And then he just starts beating the shit out of him, laughing. Right? And they throw him into the room that they were in, and there's all these ladies in there. And he's like, he says calmly, excuse me, ladies. And he's rubbing his hair, and then he starts beating the shit out of this guy still. And the dude is screaming to the point where it makes the scene way more graphic than it is. Because the dude's like, ah! Ah! Like that. Like how a real person would scream.
Right.
So it makes it extremely intense. Because Sam was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so the dude's screaming, they're just beating him, and he's laughing. And then he goes, the big red guy goes, open up the window. And then he goes, Big Red, no! Big Red, no! He said, open up that fucking window. And they open up the window. They're on the top floor.
How many floors?
A lot.
Oh, so he's about to kill this guy.
Yeah, open up the top window. He goes, Big Red! Ah! And then he grabs like they're taking him out to the thing, and he grabs like the patio bar, the thing, and then they punch the shit out of him as they're laughing, like Big Red's, until he like, ah! Poof, ah! Ah! And he lets go finally, and then now he's just dangling over the fucking thing, right? And then he goes, Big Red's like, what'd you say about my royalties? He's like, I'm sorry. Please let me out. It's like, you got something to say about my books? I'm so sorry, Big Red. Please let me out. All right. Come on, boy. What you crying for? And he like lets him up. He's like sitting, he throws him on the ground. He's like beat the shit and he's crying. And he goes, okay. Now, he's laughing. He goes, if you have any other problems with your royalties or my books, my office hours
Badass.
are from, and he points down to him, and he goes, and he doesn't, he's crying, and he goes, my office hours are from, and the guy goes, 9 to 5. And he walks out.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, that's nuts.
Cold-blooded, nigga.
That's cool. Also, that guy, though, it's like, man, you make bad decisions.
You make horrible decisions.
You try to fuck over.
And it came back.
It came back. Well, no, okay. You tried to fuck over the other people, made them look way better than they probably were at the time.
Yeah.
And then now you try to you curse at a fucking coked out guy. You're a middle of the road artist who hasn't written a new song in 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, what are you doing? But that's why you're a middle of the road artist. Hasn't written a
'cause
song
you
in
make
3
decisions
years
like
because you don't make good decisions.
Yep. And you're not working on the craft. You're worried about stupid shit.
Yeah, you're worried about your money.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And winning talent shows or whatever the
yeah,
fuck.
fuck.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about winning?
Who gives a fuck? Just do it.
Yeah, I'd lose a talent show if I meant to have a career.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck, idiot? Yeah.
So they cut back to Duck and JT. They're talking now, right?
Yeah.
And JT is telling him how he's tired of being with a different woman every night and he wants to settle down and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells him how, but he's like, I can't control myself. Every time I get around a new woman, I have to be with her. I'm just addicted to being with new women. And then Duck cracks a joke about how he needs to go to a dick control center. He's like, like they have for alcoholics, which is so funny because they end up having those.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, And then,
Although they call it sexual addiction, I would much rather call it dick control center.
which is a way funny thing to say. Dick control center?
Yeah, I'm going to the dick control center, man. I got a problem.
So right then he's telling him how, when the right woman comes along, it'll be right. Can't force it. And he's like, ooh, that'll be a great song. And he immediately pulls out his pen and he starts writing, right? And then they start talking to each other. And then he goes, man, when you have a kid, he's like, you got to name one after me. And then they make a deal. They go, nah, whoever gets married first, that kid, whoever gets married first has to name their first kid after the person, right? And they're like, oh, deal.
Right. That's smart. Yeah.
And so
well, that's a fun little
brother.
I don't know if it's smart's the right word. It's a good fun. That's a fun deal.
Brother deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next scene, Jimmy, the manager, is pulling up to Big Red's mansion.
Right.
Okay. And Eddie, he goes into the mansion in his office, and Big Red's like, "Hey, come on in here, Jimmy." And he's being all nice. And then Eddie's already in the office. Okay. And and then the manager's like, "Hey, Eddie, what's going on? What are you doing here, man?" And then Eddie doesn't speak to him. He's like, And then Jimmy's like, what's going on here? And then Big Red says, I think it's time for the band to have a more experienced manager. And then he goes, what do you mean? And he goes, I mean, I'm buying you out. And then Jimmy's like, are you out of your fucking mind? No, you're not. This is my group, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, and then he looks at Eddie, he goes, Eddie, what's this all about? And then Eddie goes, you know damn well what this is about. He's like, I don't need no manager that's going to try to replace me.
Projecting.
Mm-hmm.
Projecting. Because he knows he should be replaced.
Yeah, and then, of course, he's like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. And then right then, Big Red goes, listen, man, we're going to buy you out. This is what it is. And he's like, nah, I don't think so. That ain't happening. He's like, I'll take your ass to court. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, listen, man, let me tell you something. It's Big Red. He goes, all the other ones can be replaced. All I need is Eddie. He goes, all the other ones I can replace in a day. And he goes, and you guys ain't going nowhere because you owe me money for all the cars, all the studio time, all the expensive clothes. I didn't charge you for any of that. So he got him. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, those fucking, that's how they get people, bro. You take them cars, take all that shit. It's like, yo, you think that was free? You think somebody didn't add those numbers up?
That's worth your loyalty. Ooh.
And your royalties, apparently. You know?
Fuck you.
So he's saying all this shit, and Jimmy's, of course, going off, and then Jimmy's like, well, I'm going to take you to court. He's like, and just so you know, I ain't no bird in the Falcons, motherfucker. You ain't going to hold me out of no thing. Like, hold me out of a balcony just to get me to sign. I'm taking your ass to court, and you ain't nothing you can do about it, Big Red. And then Big Red goes, okay. And because he tells Big Red how he's going to take him to court, and then he knows all this shady shit about him, how you bootleg your CDs, how you do this, how you do that. And then Big Red's like, okay.
Don't tell him you know that.
And then Big Red, okay. And then he goes,
here are my cards, Big Red. You fucking idiot.
Big Red goes, okay, how's Eleanor? And he looks at him and he's like, he goes, hey, this is between me and you. Don't bring up Eleanor. And he goes, maybe. And then cold. That's how he said it too. He said, don't bring up Eleanor. Maybe. Just like that. Just didn't say anything else. Just maybe. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe, who knows, motherfucker? Maybe. That's what maybe's for. Cold line. Big Red is also, he looks scary. We see him like, oh, this guy looks like a scary guy.
Suge Knighty.
Yeah, he's Suge Knight in the 60s. You know, imagine that kind of guy, just with a sharp kind of suit.
Sugarcane Knight.
Yeah, he was
Molasses Knight.
Molasses Knight. So Jimmy storms out.
Right.
After that line. It's like, fuck this guy. He goes right to
yeah, take the money, dude. Take the money, you have your family.
And Jimmy's wife's like, what's wrong? And then he's like, something's not right. I got to go down to the club for a second and talk to the guys. Like, he's like, I got to go let them know.
Right.
And then his wife looks worried, and then he leaves, right? And then right then the phone rings, and she answers it, and then it's Big Red, and he's like, tell Jimmy he can't hide. And he hangs up. So, of course, now she freaks the fuck out.
Right.
She goes down to the elevator, and then she sees the elevator's going down. So she takes the steps, starts running down the steps to go catch him, okay? Elevator's going down. The music's getting more intense, more intense, more intense.
He's about to get fucking murdered.
So Jimmy comes out to he comes out of his building, and then a guy goes, you want me to get your car, Mr. Potter? Like a driver guy, like, a bellhop kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, thank you, sir. Whatever his name. And then so the guy goes off to get the car, and then right then the music gets really intense, and you see a car swerving down the street, and he's kind of looking at it. Like, what the fuck? And then right then you see a guy go, fuck you about that. And he says something like that, and then a bottle gets flung at him, and he misses, like, psh. And he's like, what the fuck? Jimmy's looking around, right? And then the music dies. Okay? And it was like, okay, right? Music dies.
Dude, just take the fucking money. Good God.
So right then, she's running. Okay, so he right then the guy who pulls up with his car now, he pulls up with his car and he tips him, and then he goes to get in his car, and then right as he's about to get in the car, you look to the right and there's just a huge dump truck flying down the street. Boom! Hits him and kills him. As his wife watches. His wife gets downstairs right when that happens. And that's the story of Jimmy the manager.
What? What?
Yep. So the next scene is they're at the funeral. Everyone, of course, is...
I hate Eddie now.
Yeah. So Sarge, they call Sarge up to talk, right? And the guy, the dance instructor guy, and he gets up to talk, and then he breaks down.
Right.
Just can't talk, and then he goes to sit back down. Right then, you see Big Red walking down the aisle, and he's crying. And he gets right up to the casket, and he puts a red flower on it. And then he goes up to Eleanor, the wife, and he goes, because he goes, Eleanor, I'm so sorry. And then she takes her shades off, like looking at him like, you motherfucker. He's like, Eleanor, I'm so sorry. He goes, I don't think you should be alone right now. So maybe sometime this week we can, and then right before he can finish the sentence, she hits him, crack. She goes, don't you disrespect my husband. Get out of here. Get out of here now. And he's looking at her, and then everybody else is like, looking at him like crazy, and then he walks out, right? Everybody kind of looking at him, and then they zoom in the back of the audience, crying is the bird of the Midnight Falcons guy, and he's looking at Big Red like this, and the camera zooms in on him, okay? Scene ends, okay?
Is there redemption for Bird?
So the group now you see the whole 5 Heartbeats, they're walking in an alley.
Right.
They're walking in an alley, right? And they see Eddie, and he's clearly fucked up, And Dresser goes, what's going on? And he stands up and he's looking at him. Dresser's mad as shit. And the rest of the groups are kind of standing behind him. And he's like, and he's staring at him. He's like, what's going on, Eddie? And then he just starts beating the shit out of Eddie, beating his ass. And then the rest of the group gets off him. And he's like, no, tell him, Eddie. Tell him what you did, Eddie. And Eddie starts screaming. He's like, tell him about the accident. Tell him about your deal. And then Eddie goes, God, I didn't know. I didn't know. Like he's screaming, he's crying, right? And the group is now like,
I have no sympathy for
yeah,
Eddie.
they're like freaking because they can't. And then Dresser just starts beating him. And it's a long scene, dude.
Yeah.
He's just kicking him. And Eddie's just defensive, crying because he knows he's wrong. And he's just kicking him. And Dresser's crying. He's like, you motherfucker, you motherfucker, you know? And then right then he picks him up and he's about to punch him in the face. And then he just breaks down. He drops him and he just starts crying. And they're all just, and now the whole group, they're all just sitting there like, right? And then they're standing there. And then Dresser goes, great line. He just looks at him. He goes, what did he ever do to you, man? And then he hugs him. Scene ends. Fade to black. Beautiful.
God, what the fuck?
What did he ever do to you? It's a great line.
When you started this, I had convinced myself that this would be a lighthearted comedy. And now, there's nothing more that I wish than this to be a lighthearted comedy.
You don't know. We might get there at the end.
If we're not there now.
It had like 3/4 of very serious. Yeah. Maybe the last quarter is really funny.
God, fuck you, Eddie.
So, fucking Eddie, man. So, Duck,
you ain't shit.
He takes Eddie back to the girl, you know, the girl that Eddie was back and forth with the whole movie.
Yeah.
And he goes, texts her back to her and he's like, hey, thank you for taking care of Eddie. You know, you appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Duck and JT, they go to see him, right? They go to see him and they go, hey, Eddie, how you doing? And Eddie's like, I can't sing. I'm not going to sing anymore. I can't live with what I did. You know what I mean? I'm done. And then they go, man, you can't stop singing, man. And then he goes, and he's like, I got to stop. I can't live with myself. And they go, Eddie, we need to know what happened on that last meeting with Big Red. And then right then the Midnight Falcon guy comes in, right? And then they look up at each other. And then right then the montage of articles show on the camera of Big Red arrested for murder, Big Red arrested for this, Big Red on trial, like all these things. Like they take him down.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm. And then the last article, and like on the last one, it says, and the 5 Heartbeats have new lead singer, Flash Turner. So and what Eddie ended up happening anyway because of him. The thing that he was so worried about.
That's what happens.
Always.
It's like you know, like you ever see like, or even in movies where the guy is convinced that the girl is cheating and she's not, or like she's convinced that he's cheating and he's not.
You already lost.
And just because you think that means that eventually that they're going to, because you're going to push them to that. You're going to make that reality come true.
Yeah, because you keep putting it in the universe. That's why people say put stuff in the universe. That's exactly why.
Yeah, you gotta. It's weird because like people lie all the time and are like duplicitous and shit, but you gotta take shit at face value sometimes.
You have to, man. So next scene, they're at a sold out show and you hear the crowd going, more. And then May 4th, 1972 comes across the screen and now they're doing like a disco thing, the group. Okay. Like they got guitars, they got disco clothes, big afros.
They're good with changing with the times.
They're moving with the time. They're trying to make it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
or stay relevant. Yeah, they kind of made it.
So they're killing it and Flash is just destroying it. People are going, Flash. And then the theater's huge now. Like right. they're doing well.
They're moving up.
So the show ends and Duck is talking to JT and he's pumped. He's saying how that was the greatest show they've ever done, blah, blah, blah. I think this is our best work yet. And then JT's like, we look like fucking circus clowns up there, man. It's like, we're not even doing music anymore. We're just a circus act, you know? And then Duck's like, man, what's really going on with you? What's wrong? He's like, what name are those girls screaming out there? And he goes, Flash. He's the lead singer. He goes, they used to be screaming my name. And he goes, yeah, JT, but when's the last time you've written anything or done anything new or advanced yourself? Don't put that on Flash. That's on you. And then Duck storms off. And then JT's like, you know?
Oh, I gotta go solo.
Bro.
Solo JT career.
So the next show, Flash is starting the song off and he's killing it, right?
Right.
And JT takes the mic and then he walks up and then Duck's like, yo, JT, what are you doing? And then JT starts singing all the lead parts as well. Now they're singing them together and now they're competing. Like, who's going to sing it better? You know, back and forth. And they're singing to this girl in the front row, and they're both just, like, being ridiculous. Like, you know, oh, just in case, just in case, just in case, just in case. Like, they're just going back and forth, like, trying to do it better, you know? And the girl's just like, like that.
Yeah, losing her mind.
Yeah.
The best night of her life.
And so right then, JT says some really Flash shit to the girl to cut off him.
Right.
Flash, and then he hits crazy high notes that Flash can't hit, and even Flash backs off, and then he turns around and drops the mic, and even Duck's like Duck's in like, fuck yeah, I'm glad you did that, you know? So the scene ends, and now they're walking up to their bus, you know? Like they're walking up to their bus, like through a gate, like a people, like, you know, like fans and shit, and they're walking up to like where their tour bus would be, and the fans are screaming.
Right.
And then as they do, they hear somebody go, you know, guys, hey guys, and then they look, and it's somebody on the gate, and it's Eddie. Okay, and he's like, guys, let me in, hey guys, and they see him, and they're like, let him in, and then he tries to get through the police, and the police are holding him, and they're like, no, let him in. He's like, get your fucking hands off me, and he's like, clearly a homeless person now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like clearly just a homeless person.
So he never got better from drugs.
Yeah.
And drinking.
So he goes, man, he's talking to me, y'all look good tonight, man. Y'all look good. JT, man, you look so good, man. You know, he's like all like that. And he goes, I've been working hard every day. That's what I came to talk to y'all about, baby. You know, he's like, we got to get the group back together. And then they're kind of looking at him. And then one of them goes, JT goes, hey, man, why don't you give me a number and I'll give you a call. We can talk about it. And then he goes, I look like I got a number, man. And then JT's like, you know, and he goes, you know, I'm the reason y'all are even together, you know?
Yeah, you got the manager killed.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking logic is that?
And he goes, Duck, I've been singing every day, man, I promise. He goes, I'm back. And then he takes his jacket off and he has on like one of the old outfits, the shimmery one from that night where they did the fighting one. He has on that one, but it's all like dirty and shit. And he goes, look, I've been singing. I got it. Check me out. And he goes, nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. And he sounds like awful. Just awful, you know?
Yeah.
And he sings it over. He just keeps singing over and over again. And then Duck finally just cuts him off, like just hugs him and holds him, right? He's just like trying not to cry. And then you hear a choir boy. The choir boy gives him his card and goes, Eddie, call me. If you need anything, just call me, okay? And then JT gives him some money. It's like, hey, man, be all right, okay? Do good. Just try to get better. You know, just go out there and help yourself or something like that. And he goes, oh, you think I didn't come here for your fucking money or your fucking pity. I still got the pipes. Can't nobody sing like Eddie Kane, do you? And he's screaming. And then right then Flash comes out, right, with a bunch of girls and people are screaming for Flash. And he looks at Flash and he goes, such a good line. He goes, how does it feel to be me? And Flash looks at him. And he walks off and he takes his jacket and he's like, nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. As he walks off.
Fade to black.
Yep.
Whew. Whew.
Bro, real. So,
Bro, why are you doing this to my heart again?
I have to.
Somebody's
got to do it.
It's true. I need to feel stuff, but I just watched Gravity.
It's so funny to compare Gravity and the 5 Orbits.
They both make me feel things.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So now they're in the studio and they're listening to funky music, right? It's like time has passed again. And they're all going crazy on how they know this is going to be a hit. Oh my God, this song's a hit, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And they're telling JT, like, man, how does your brother come up with this, write this crazy music, man? Your brother's amazing. And he's like, I know, Duck's incredible. You know what I mean? Mm. And then right then Duck comes riding in on the neighbor girl's back that he loves. Like he's on her back. And they're like, hey, and they're all cheering for him. And he goes, we have an announcement to make. We have a surprise. What rhymes with carriage and starts with an M? And they're like, no. And like, we're getting married. And they all go crazy. And then it pans over to JT and he's like, and then like everybody's celebrating. He grabs Duck and he throws him in the hallway. He's like, man, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, I'm getting married, man. I thought you'd be happy for me. He's like, bro, you just fucking met that girl. You don't know anything about her. You don't know what she wants or how she is. You know, and he's like, hey, JT, why can't you just be happy for me, man? I'm your brother. I love you. I want you to be the best man at my wedding. Just be happy for me once.
We had that. There was a, I remember in college, one of my friends was dating a girl we didn't like, and we let him know. And one day he was like, man, why can't you guys just be happy for me? And we're like, oh, fuck. You're right.
Yep. And that's what JT said. JT said,
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Just like that. Cool.
You had to accept it.
Yep. So
if your boy's happy, what can you say?
What can you say, man?
Yeah.
So the next scene, they're all in the hospital, right? And they're singing "Happy Birthday" to Sarge. He was in the hospital for some reason. They don't say why. He's in the hospital. And his right then, Sarge's like, I can't believe y'all got me all this stuff. And then Duck's fiance goes, oh, we got more presents for you in the car. I'll go get them. And then she runs downstairs to go get presents. And they're all talking in the hospital for a second. And then Sarge's like, I want a cigarette. And they're like, you can't be smoking no cigarettes. And he goes, check my right pocket. And then Duck goes and looks in his right pocket. He's like, give me one of those cigarettes. And they're like, it's his birthday. They laugh. And then right then Duck looks out the window and he sees his wife, fiance, and she's crying. He's like, what the fuck? And then right then Choir Boy walks up. And then they're talking really tenderly and he's holding her. And then they hug really tenderly. And then he closes the window. Fade out. Choir Boy, bro. I told you. That one little scene, you noticed it, bro, is that one where he asked to be the lead. I thought that was really well done because I was like, you noticed the character change right there.
Yeah, he's a dick. But they're all dicks.
Bro.
Fame.
It's a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
So, but also, was the brother not right? We don't know this girl. Oh, dude, I love this movie. So right then, so he in the studio. Now the next shot they're in the studio, okay? Mm-hmm. And JT and Choir Boy are in the booth.
Right.
And outside in the engineering part are Dresser and Duck.
Right.
And Duck's just looking at Choir Boy like this. And then Dresser finally goes, hey man, you're looking like you want to kill somebody. What's going on here? And then he goes, I think Tanya's having an affair. And then he goes, with who? And he goes, Choir Boy. And then Dresser, of course, laughs. And then he goes, you're crazy, man. And then he looks at him, he's like, and then Duck's like, I'm serious. And then he's like, bro, what? No, do you have any evidence? And he goes, I'm going to get some. And then the next scene, Duck is waiting outside the place they used to write notes. He's just waiting for her. And they show on the clock that hours have gone by. He's waiting for like 5-6 hours, okay? Finally, she leaves the house. So then he's tailing her in the rain. He's tailing her all throughout the rain. Blah, blah, blah. Just following her. Finally, she stops at a hotel, okay? He lets her go in. He waits. And then he walks up in the rain. It's just pouring down rain on him, right? He walks up slowly. He gets up to the hotel. He's looking up. And you can tell he's scared. You can just see the fear in him because he just doesn't want to know what he already knows.
Yeah.
So he gets up and he's looking at the hotel. And then right then a bellhop comes out and he goes, oh my God, one of the 5 heartbeats. Oh my God, bro, I love all your music. You're Duck. You're one of my favorites in the band, dude. I love you so much. Can I get your autograph? And then Duck's looking up. Still, he hasn't looked at him yet. And he's like, okay. And then he goes to get an autograph. And then right as he's about to sign, the guy goes, I can't believe it. 2 heartbeats in one night. And then Duck goes, who else was here? He goes, I can't believe I met your brother. And now you. And he looks up. Rain just hitting him. And then he autographs right next to his brother's name and he leaves. As he walks out the rain, fade. With his brother.
What was Choir Boy doing? Just giving her a hug?
Consoling her about it. So the next scene.
Oh, because he knows.
So the next scene. Okay. The girl is now arguing with JT.
Right.
And she's like, says how he knew that she was just using Duck to get close to him. She knew that she wanted him the whole time, right?
Right.
And then he's telling her like, you can't, they're yelling at each other and he's saying that he's like, yeah, but you let this go too far. When you guys were dating, it was just one thing. Now you're talking about marrying my brother and you're going to really hurt him like that? Just for me? You know what I mean? Like, stop, don't do him like that. He's going off. He's a piece of shit too.
Yeah, it's like, you're totally a part of this. You don't have to fuck your brother's girlfriend.
Clear fiance.
Oh yeah, now fiance.
So, he goes and he tells her, I know you still love me. And then she says, I love you, but I'm in love with Duck. Right? And then he goes,
some weird twisted ass.
Girls say that shit. And then he goes,
that's what I said. Woman shit.
You have to tell him the truth. And then she looks at him and she goes, I can't. Scene ends. All right? So the next scene, as he says he can't, he starts crying. He just starts crying.
Yeah. Also, you should probably tell him the truth too.
But you're scared. You know you fucked up. You know you fucked up too.
Yeah,
how scared would you really be, bro? To tell me you were not even brothers. To tell me you fucked Sam.
Oh God.
And she said she's not gonna do it.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, I get it.
It'd be a little hard.
Yeah.
Not that you would, because I think you would, but it would. I'm not gonna. I bet you it would take you a day or two.
Yeah, that's true. I'd have to be like, all right, well,
which day am I gonna do? You might put it in your calendar.
Yeah. This friendship, it might be done. Most likely.
Yeah. Ooh, this one might be on me.
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm gonna have to sleep with this one.
Yeah. Oh God. I have to come to terms with this at some point in my life.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to be in my bed one night going, I did that.
Oh God. I mean, tonight, and I just have to deal with it.
Okay. So.
Oh God.
So the next scene, they're at an award show. They finally got a gold record. All right. Real big award, like a big award show, like a big Grammys kind of thing.
Good for them, even though their lives are completely falling apart.
So Dresser is accepting the speech first, and he says how he loves his family, blah, blah, blah. Then the Flash guy starts talking, and he says how he loves these guys and how they're the ones who deserve all the applause, and how he had nothing. They took him in like brothers, and he loves them so much, and he's so thankful for them. And then right then Flash goes, this is the happiest day of my life, but also this is now one of the saddest, because I have to announce that I'm leaving the group. And my new solo album will be out in 2 weeks called Flash Turner, It's Lonely at the Top. And that was how he did his speech, and he walked off. And of course, they're looking at him like, right?
Yeah.
Other than Duck. Duck, no emotion. He doesn't give a fuck.
Well, Duck will be fine. Duck makes the music.
Yeah.
So Duck will
also
find
has
his way.
other stuff on his mind right now.
Yeah, that's also a good point.
So Duck goes up, and now his time to talk, and he says how he thought, this is Duck's speech, he says how he thought when he got a gold record, he'd feel on top of the world. But today I feel, ugh. That's what he says. Then he goes, when I started in this business, I'll never forget a music critic about one of my first songs wrote about me. He said, Duck, whatever his last name is, he said, Duck something will be a great writer one day when he suffers more. Okay? And he said, and I think today I'm finally on my way to being a great writer. And I want to thank two people in particular, my fiance and my brother. And the fiance kind of looks like twisted, and the brother, JT, smiles because he still doesn't know.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
And then he goes, my brother, who has always been the biggest piece of shit, most selfish, self-centered motherfucker on the planet Earth. And then right then JT goes, hey, don't do this here, man. What are you doing? He goes, get your fucking hands off me. You know? And then he storms off. That's it. Everyone is shocked. People in the crowd are like, what the fuck? And then JT grabs the mic and he goes, thank you, everybody. And then that's it. Scene ends. Okay? Cut back to, that's how that scene ends. Fade to black to the opening shot of Duck looking at the beach, getting the mail. All right? We cut back to this now. Okay? So he's back to an old man. So all that flashback just went through his head. Now he's back on the beach. He's going through his mail. And he opens up a letter.
Yeah.
Right? And the letter says, I know it's been years. I miss your friendship. I miss your laughter. I've invested all my money that I had left in my father's church. It would mean a lot if you came to the next service. P.S. If you come, I have a surprise for you. So Duck comes to this monster church. He walks in.
And so the house on the beach, it's a nice house?
Yeah, I mean, he lives in a house on the beach.
All right, so he did well.
He just was a songwriter.
Okay.
Yeah. So, even if he didn't spend his money too badly, he did well from all the hits they wrote.
That's true.
Also, old hits, I mean, that's timeless money, bro. They're playing that shit in commercials.
Oh, that's a good point. Movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Especially if they were that kind of group where they weren't the Temptations big, but they were big enough.
Kevin Hart's fucking special. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
They used that for that. Good point. So, he would have had to pay for that.
Yeah, he would have. He probably did.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah.
He had to pay for the movie, right? Like, because they got it from the movie, so he had to pay for somebody for that shit.
Or he didn't.
That'd be so funny. I outed him.
Oh, yeah. There's some executive like, wait, what the fuck?
Huge beaner.
Yeah.
Some executive for 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
If you fucking help us.
Yeah.
20th Century Fox exec. Don't just watch.
Yeah, we're struggling. We're in fucking Deric's apartment.
Sweating.
And this room is getting hotter by the minute. Fucking throw your boys a bone, dude.
So he comes into the monster church, and Choir Boy's dad's preaching a good sermon, right? Mm-hmm. And he goes, before I finish preaching this word this morning, I'd like the choir to bless us with a song, okay? And the choir stands up, and then Duck's like heads down, and someone starts singing, and then Duck recognizes the voice, and he looks up, and he hear, I feel like going on, and it's Eddie Kane Jr. And he's back singing beautifully, baby. I feel like going on. Like a beautiful song. And his wife, the wife that's kind of been with him the whole time, right. They're both really old now. And like they look older, but they're both singing together. And then Duck just stands up and he's just like bawling, crying. Can't believe it. You know?
Oh, dude, I'm so happy for Eddie.
Yeah. He's just crying and Duck's just clapping. You know what I mean? And then, wait, where are we at?
So he's crying.
Oh yeah, he's singing, and so the end of the shot, it's Eddie Kane and his girl, and they're all like hugging, right?
Right.
Like they're all like hugging after church, and then he's like, "Look at you, man, Eddie Kane Jr. looking good." And then Eddie's like, "Man, you'd be surprised what the 12-step program will do for you, you know?" And then he goes, he says how he's just working and going to church and trying to live day by day. And he's like, "I'm so proud of you, man." And he goes, I'm managing a group now. And he goes, "They're great, man. They really got the moves. The only problem is we got a rough time writing some good material." And then Duck goes, "I got you." Like, don't even say, I got you.
Yeah.
I'll write something.
Right.
And he's like, "Thanks, man." And then Eddie goes, I heard about that whole JT thing. And he goes, I please, man, I don't want to talk about that. And he goes, let me see. Seriously, man, I don't want to talk about JT. He said, "Listen, we make mistakes." And he goes, "Look at me. I know. Call your brother." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, and then he looks at him. He's like, "Just think about it." And then they walk off. So, cut to, they're at a park, and you see JT, and he's playing with two kids. He's got two kids in his arm. He's playing with them like this, and then like a boy and a girl, and then like a wife just reading a book.
Same girl, or different girle?
Different. No, this is a different wife. This is in the future now.
Okay, future.
This is way in the future.
All right.
This is present day now.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way he's gonna end up being with.
No,
that
he
girl.
didn't make. No, those girls are done. Yeah. Other than the only girl that stayed the whole time was Eddie's. Yeah. So.
Ride or die.
Right, she was ride or die, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So he's playing with his kids, and a woman's reading, and then they both look up, and then the wife, she notices him immediately. She's like, and then he looks, and JT sees him, and he's frozen, and then his kids go, this line almost made me cry. His kids go, "Who's that, Daddy?" These kids are like 7 to 8 years old, like maybe 9, 10. They're old. They're old, dude.
Oh man, I can't imagine not being.
It's like, this is when Sam started crying. He was like, "Oh my God, I wasn't ready for this scene."
Yeah, if my sister had kids and they didn't even know who I was.
That, Daddy?
Oh my God.
Because you guys had like a real fallout.
It's a real fallout, yeah. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts me.
Oh, it was a rough scene.
Yeah.
And then he goes, JT goes, "Go play with your mama. Go play with your mama." And the little girl runs by the mom. And then right then the little girl goes, "Duck, you heard Daddy." And then the little kid's still holding on to the leg. And then Duck starts smiling, and then JT smiles, and he goes, "Duck, get over here!" And then the little boy runs, and then he's looking at him, and he goes, JT, they go and they just start hugging, and then JT just goes, "I feel so stupid, man. I feel so stupid." And then Duck goes, "Whoever has kids first." And then he goes, "I missed you, Duck." Scene ends. Cut to, they're at a big barbecue. Everyone is there now, and the cousins. Remember those cousins that were pitching, the idiots? Yeah. They're now pitching a new rap group.
That's funny.
To Eddie Kane.
That's funny.
They're like, but our gimmick is that we're 40 and we rap country western. You know what I mean?
Good bit.
Yeah, and so they show right then the Pops. He's on TV. The guy, he's like, "All right, and now our new music video by the #1 group in the world, Flash and the 5 Horsemen." And it's the Flash guy and those 5 white guys, and they're doing the corniest song ever, right? And he's all corny, and what he's singing is like really like sold out race, like, you know what I mean, like kind of shit. And then right then the JT guy cuts the TV off, and all the kids go, "Oh, Dad, we want to watch Flash. We want to watch Flash." He's like, "Y'all ain't watching that bull in my house. That ain't real music." And then the mom goes, "Why don't you show them what real music is then?" He goes, "I will. Heartbeats, front and center." And then all the heartbeats get up, and then he goes, "Eddie, get up here too." And then he goes, and then this is the funniest thing in the movie. The camera pans up slow to him, and he goes, "Y'all sure y'all want to hang with old Eddie Kane?"
Why is that funny?
I don't know. And then they're like, "We're sure." And then Eddie gets up, and they're like, "Duck, come on, Duck." And then Duck's like, "Man, I ain't sang in years." And then they're like, "Oh, come on, Duck, fall in line, Girl Scout." That's what JT says.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't know, man." And he goes, "Get up here right now, Duck. Besides, you're always the worst dancer." And he smiles, and he goes, "I wasn't the worst dancer. Choir boy was." And then he gets up, and they start laughing, and then really happy music starts playing, and they all line up, and they're like 5, 6, 7, 8, and they start to do a dance move, and then Eddie hurts his back immediately. And then the "No matter how hard we try," fade to black, the 5 heartbeats.
Whew. Man, I got goosebumps.
What'd you think?
I liked it. The fade to black scenes were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they knew how to end the scene really well.
I told when you watch it, let me know what you think of the directing.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the simplicity of the shots in this.
Well, what's interesting, we talk about it in the season 2 recap. Take a listen. But vignettes, that's what they almost see. Like they weren't like separate stories, but each of
It was
them.
all one story, but they shot it like it was going to be vignettes.
Yeah. The way they end, like you could take any one of those scenes out of context, and people would understand the relationships and what's going on.
They would.
You know what I mean?
Because the tropes are all there. The music industry tropes, the brother trope. I mean, also just all the little things that they set up, and the misdirects I really liked. How watching it, you think she's cheating with Choir Boy, and then you find out the brother was a piece of shit. Even though in your head you're like, of course his brother's gonna fuck him over. And then you think, oh no, I guess it was Choir Boy.
He did
Choir
it
Boy
earlier.
was changing, and then it goes right back, and like, oh, this is really well written. Like he put time into the thought of this movie. You know, it was. I love this movie. It's and this is
Dresser seemed to have it most together.
Oh, Dresser's the only one who had it together.
Yeah.
He's the only one who had it together. Everyone else was a fucking psychopath.
Fame, man. Fame.
5 heartbeats.
Yay.